Ranger Cast, Ranger Talk. Our personal official title are the YRN sessions. Uh, and welcome to the very first episode of YRN Sessions. This is a podcast where the three voices from the Omni Rangers take you behind the scenes, geek out over each episode, and answer your burning questions. I am, like I said, on Teku Coffee, the voice of Noel Glepner, and today we're kicking things off with a deep dive, no Kingdom Hearts, into the Omni Rangers universe, talking about what makes this show so special, the wildest moments. So whether you're here for Zords, the Rangers, or just some fun stories from behind the mic, you found your crew. Grab your morpher, sit back, and let's get into it. This is your very first YRN session, and without further ado, shift reality. But before anything else, let's run that intro. All right, W intro. Once again, shout out to Black Soccer for making that intro for us. W. Um, but yes, I have joined with me Yanni, aka the Sound of Tokyo, and Raven, aka Didi Hime. Why don't y'all go ahead and say hello to everybody?
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm so excited. I'm actually really excited.
No, I am too. I am too. Um,
I gotta make sure I can view the chat because I have so much stuff around me right now. It's
yeah,
freaking.
because I can actually see how a bit tedious this can be for some of
Yeah.
y'all running these, because you have to like run a lot, like just the OBS setup itself and then audio. Like I'm fully using all three of my screens right now. Let me see.
Yay. All right, let me put this over here. These things get on. Also, well, before we start, how have you guys been? How has everyone been?
Yes.
How's the weekend going so far? Mine is
Uh,
going okay.
Same. It's been a pretty good weekend. It's been a pretty good work week as well. I'm getting just like a little bit better and better at everything I have to do. So it's becoming the easier it gets, the harder it gets. But
Yeah. Yeah, work's been
I'm
wild for
going
me.
good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, like helping my mom's class, like plan like art projects that's easy for their ages.
okay, nice, nice. We gotta get some nice fan pictures of the Omni Rangers in that class. You gotta induct them now, Raven.
Right. I was gonna say that.
Gotta induct them
We're
now.
need to
Um,
indoctrinate the young while we can.
Let me see. So yeah, this is like really more of like a casual vibe going on. We have um, a list of questions here, which are the most asked questions according to our YouTube comment sections. Um,
Also, if you guys have any questions during the
yes,
stream,
if there are
please put
any,
them in.
exactly, exactly what I'm gonna try not to talk over y'all so much, but
No, you're
exactly
not talking.
what
You're
Yanni
good.
says. Any just burning questions, doesn't matter what it is, like good, bad, ugly, spicy, raunchy, whatever flavor, go ahead and bring it to the table. But do we have any initial just like icebreaker things we want to get off our chest as far as like Ranger news outside of Omni Ranger, like any Ranger news or just like any like burning feelings you had about this session so far. This is of course directed at my beautiful co-hosts as well as my beautiful audience. And if you're watching this after the fact as well, leave those questions in the comments of the comment section of YouTube, or you can drop us a whisper on Twitch just with a burning question. We will get to it in another YRN session. But okay.
I
Are
was
you
gonna say.
all, the first question is, are you all in the biosphere? Look, I don't have I'll try to keep my my stuff separate from Roll Magic, but just for this one instance, I just found 1 gram of kush, and I'm gonna fill this thing up with cannabis, and a week long bitch couldn't handle this. I'm about to smoke. Okay, but yeah, we are in the biodome of our ship right now. We are chilling. We have some. Just pretend what you hear in the background is some Megan Thee Stallion for
Yeah.
for muting purposes. I hate for anyone after this to miss anything because we were in the background. I'm a savage. Yeah. But
I was gonna be that person. I would have been going over here playing everything. All the. I was ready to play some Doja real quick just 3 minutes ago, just so you guys know. But
are
I
we
don't know.
in are we
Might not be good.
in Penacony or somewhere else? Let me actually tell you where we are in the
Yeah.
biodome right now. We are in. I should get a picture for this too, but
Yeah. We
we
changed
are
location.
in. a peaceful garden. In like a hut surrounded by these white, almost wilted, but that's just the design of them, looking flowers. These flowers are called lunar tears. Hold on.
Also, hi Ember, hi Nano.
Hi Amber. Hi Nano.
There are low lights in this area, so we're legit just all huddled under a tent, surrounded by these glowing flowers that the biodome's projection has produced. Let me see.
A lot better than the yurt, I tell you that. But I do love a good yurt. Side note, I have hotboxed in the yurt before, and it was actually really fun.
Nice. Hold on. So while I'm getting that pulled up, the first question we have after that, ooh, it's a touchy subject. Does
Oh.
Yanni want to be with Aubrey? If I could just get my personal thoughts and comments on that question. So
Yeah, you
I
guys
get that
you guys
because
tell me your
I've been like Noel has been, actually I am Noel right now. I've been observing Yanni. I've been observing you. I've been watching. I've been waiting. I've been taking notes, and there's definitely that tension there between you and Aubrey. Now, me being kind of as far as what you guys' relationship was, I'm kind of new to that. I don't know what y'all had going on before. I'm not like totally clear on what the status of your relationship is. Is Aubrey a fuckboy? That's my homeboy. So I will not say, I will never
I
say
can't.
no. That he is. Look, black men don't cheat, and that's just how that's where I'm
I
gonna
heard
leave
that.
that. So let us know, like, what's going on with you and Aubrey right now. It all, like,
Wait.
one moment you're hot, then one moment you're cold, another moment you're shutting him out the door, the next moment, you're getting thrown into his arms by a stray blast. Talk to us.
Was that a pun? Was that a pun? When you say 1 minute you're hot, 1 minute you're cold? Are you trying to, cause Ice Queen here? I'm just kidding.
Hey,
uh,
okay, break the
well,
ice.
oh wow, another one. Great. Oh, so good. That was a good one. I wasn't ready. Well, um, let's see. It's very complicated, to be honest with you. It's very complicated because I, as Yanni, know the particular details, and like it's very difficult. It's not that that Yanni doesn't want to be with Aubrey. It's more of, think about the situations that's been happening. You know what I mean? Back to back to back to back. This man literally broke up with his girlfriend after a kiss that may or may not should have happened. I'm not gonna say it was a bad thing. Just saying that sometimes it's a slippery slope, and then everything that's been happening on the ship, it's been a lot. You know what I mean? It's a sore spot. I will say that it's not unfixable, and it's not broken to say that, but it's an uphill battle. But I do see it working out. If I can make it any more cryptic.
Ooh. Okay.
That's interesting because, like, at first, I wasn't sure about it because thinking about, like, with team dynamic, like, if it would interfere, even though it kind of already has. But it's like, since Raven knows Yanni a little bit before she became a Ranger, it's like, definitely prefer her with Aubrey more than Harper because definitely from understanding as a ranger point, and also Harper did threaten her before when Aubrey got hurt, so she got that point against her anyway.
Oh
One
yeah, if
sec.
she already threatened you, then hey,
Hmm.
she on the list. She on the
Okay.
list for
The top.
sure.
I forgot to do the thing for the Discord chat. I'm about to pull up a picture of where we are. It might overlay everything for just like 3 seconds. Oh no, it didn't. Okay, but
Now plus it down, yeah.
this is the kind of the garden where we are right now, surrounded by a bunch of lit up flowers.
I'm reading between two chats right now. Uh, Zaylen gonna get in the chat here in a minute because he keep commenting.
Oh, he over here. They in the
He's in there.
basement.
We want to know your opinion. He's,
Right.
he's producing in the background. By producing, I mean he's yelling things from the other side of the room.
Okay. Let
Oh,
me
I may
see.
join.
Okay. So I'm
Hey,
gonna.
does no still feel guilty about Australia? That one came up too.
Okay, that's a good question because there was there was like legit a moment where where Noah was getting frustrated with everyone during the standoff situation because people kept referencing Australia. It really had nothing to do with Australia, and more, if it had anything to do with it, it was Noel's fear that this world could be an Australia repeat from his inaction rather than any action that he would take. It was Noel's thought that that invisible ship, he was so anxious, so shaken up by just knowing that that the Psycho Rangers were there, um, that he just couldn't consider that, you know, his allies of other Rangers. In that moment, Noel felt like he was alone. And not alone in the sense that it was just him, but he did not feel, or for a moment, was so scared that he disregarded the presence, the greater presence of the galactic, you know, like the galactic, the alliance, the coalition that Shane is a part of, and those other Rangers. No felt like they were alone in the galaxy, like they were the only heroes. Like the villains had such an overwhelming advantage on them that he didn't have time to slow down and think, oh wait, we still have allies that are other Red Rangers, that are other Green Rangers. He thought, oh no, that's Red and Green Psycho going down there to do what Noel did to Australia, to this entire planet. Um, so was Noel feeling guilty about Australia at the moment? Maybe a little bit. Um, but this time around, like I said, it was more of a fear of inaction than wrong action. Because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, Noel still feels like it is worse to take no action than make the wrong choice.
Oh, I love that. I love how it was still like that struggle. Like even when in the scene, it was even so cool like to see the way you were handling Noel in that situation because all of it felt natural for one, like in the progression of how this particular storyline and for Noel has went and like how it came to how it this kind of is like it coming to a head or like the results of it that instant result of what had happened when it came to a head or whatever. So you can see all that. You can literally, whenever we were doing that, you can feel like how intense it was for him. Like it definitely. Oh my God, it definitely raised the ante of that scene for everybody. I feel like, and it was perfect. Like it was the perfect catalyst for that too, because what could you do? Like honestly, what could you do? Like especially if you after explaining all that what you just said, like oh man, that struggle had to be crazy for him. And yeah, I'm not condoning shooting people in space if they're Power Rangers, but I'm saying I get it. Okay.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Um, and
Yeah,
then
and to tag on to what? Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
And like to tag on to what Tokyo was saying, it's like going through all that, and also people really forget since even though the age range isn't discussed in Power Rangers that we're all teenagers, still seniors in high school. Like we just revealed us identities to the world, and dealing with that, dealing with um everything else, and also with no just finding out about his mother and everything else. All that to shoulder to bear, along with everything that's happened with Australia, and also being reminded, like it shows that even though that Noel is going through so much shit back to back, it's so also showing his strength and resiliency. Like even though it's just kind of like wearing tearing down.
Yeah, and I like that you mentioned that we're still kids because I
Yeah.
said at one point that I don't know if Noel as a character can ever be 100% again after what he did in Australia. Because what teenager would be like, even well into your 40s or 50s, you may just have that one moment where your heart drops because you realized what you did. And like, I'm pretty sure, like, everybody, like, at whatever age you are right now, you can think back to something you did at a certain age and think, damn, I really, really wish I hadn't done that. Or maybe it wasn't something you did directly, but a choice you made that led to somebody being harmed or led to an inconvenience or just led to like just some kind of pain in some way. And you think, man, I really wish I hadn't done that. Nolan's going to be thinking about that long after this campaign is over. I'll say that.
Oh, that's they should. Even though it is heavy, like yeah, because they are all literally are all kids. So like that's something. Just even seeing how much they've been through as characters as these characters, like dude, like imagine them being like older rangers. Like if they get to the point to where Shane is, right? Like imagine all the shit Shane's seen. Now you can kind of tell it's changed the way he was as a person from when he was that ranger. You know what I'm saying? So you can you can see like you're like noticing like the key moments that whenever you see like old man Noel, he's gonna be really like you can see that you'll be able to see that struggle still. You know you'd be able to still see that he's still dealing with it.
No, absolutely. And see, the reason, like, there's a reason why I haven't. 'Cause I'm glad Noel has gone in this direction because you noticed I haven't made a character out of Noel's grandfather yet. Um,
I
and
noticed that.
Noel's grandfather was also in the military. He was a Marine. Who knows what Noel's grandfather has had to do that he holds in and doesn't really talk about? Because that was at that time, that was just him doing his job, making a decision. You know what? I didn't do this on purpose, but in more ways, Noel has been parallel to his grandfather. His grandfather explored the deep ocean, Noel explores deep space. His grandfather has probably had to take people's lives either as a job or in a moment where he had to make a desperate or a tough call. And Noel has had to do that. Um, so I think it's interesting the way Noel has unintentionally kind of developed in a way that parallels his adoptive grandfather.
Yeah, I that's cool. I didn't know that at all about Noel's grandfather. Actually,
Yeah.
do you plan on like exploring that, like and bringing like more of his grandfather to the forefront? Also, hi Nano. We said hi earlier, but I don't think you were in here.
That depends on that really depends on what we can do. I know there was a point where we discussed like bringing in people from the chat to to be NPCs for an episode. Um, I wouldn't want to do I wouldn't want to do too much character wanking if I was to step into the role as Noel's grandfather, because I'll be honest, it was tough enough being all the different characters when I had to DM, remembering to be a different voice, remembering to speak with a different tone, inflection, remembering to exhibit a certain emotion, like exhibit dryness from Yumiko, but then switch over and then exhibit alarmed concern from Kanon. uh, so yeah, I don't know if I could successfully bring life to Noel's grandfather without just pretending to be an older Noel. Honestly, but I would like to see Noel's grandfather introduced as like a very silent, um a very silent character, like someone who doesn't speak a whole lot, kind of similar to the way Noah was in the beginning. Like much like the storm, it was quiet, but if you heard a rumble, then lightning was coming next. Um,
Bars.
but yeah, Noel, just to kind of put a wrap on this question, um, yeah, I have considered making a character out of Noel's granddad, but like the how I've more so put on if we could get like NPCs from chat to join us for episodes, or if I could get uh Christian to to be my granddad and grandpa. That feels so weird saying, but or just anyway, it doesn't matter how. I think it'd be fun. Whoever, shit. And Ember, you could be my grandpa if you want. You could be
I was
grandpa.
gonna say,
No,
Amber
if you
should do
wanted
it.
to.
Amber should be grandpa.
You could tell Noel all the things you think he should hear.
Oh man.
Okay.
And then you get that moment too. Oh. I would love to see Amber play Grandpa Noel. Raven question was, what does Raven want to do when she graduates? Does she ever plan on going back to Angel Grove?
Her thoughts at first was college. Like she wanted to go into early childhood, but after really everything that's happened, especially with astronomer stuff been getting worse, definitely wanted to try to possibly work with Shane. And
Ooh.
I'm not sure about Angel Grove because it holds a lot of painful memories, like um especially what happened with her family there. Like Raven was always a loner, and so she only person that she really talked to there was like Noel. Like she was like in the beginning of the campaign, Raven was a lot meaner, like definitely a lot more blunter, more direct. But being around the team had helped her kind of like soften up everything. So she would probably be homesick, but thinks of any city as her home more than anything. But if she had to go back, then she would.
So you said that she would be trying to join up with Shane, do help Shane. And what capacity do you see that? Like, what do you see Raven, like, how do you see her going to Shane and be like, hey, I'm trying to be here. You know what I mean? Like, just being smart. I'm just asking, you mean like more so there instead of a ranger, or like just as a ranger being more readily available?
Pretty much as a ranger, being more readily available, and
Okay.
since doing the vigilante stuff, like she probably definitely can't do much of that stuff now without out her family on Earth, so we'll be able to use those skills in space freely.
Okay, that makes sense. That definitely makes more sense. I would love to see that. See a Raven arc where she's just being this. She's just getting sent on missions,
Shopping
and
for parents can
that'd be super cool.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them?
Get your own JDF moments.
Yes, absolutely.
Hold on, we did pass some questions up in here. Hold on.
Oh
I would
yeah.
I, I would say, just to add to that, Raven, that if Raven went to go join Shane, Noel, whether he was wanted or not, would probably feel obligated to do that. One, because he would still feel that just that sibling need to stay by Raven's side, and two,
Mm.
I mean, the obvious is he owes Shane two Rangers, so he can't let Raven go
Ooh.
alone.
What about no? Besides, like, if she didn't do that, like if that was something he didn't know, like what would he do, and what would he do after graduation?
Noel would probably, if Noel didn't resign to just being the Black Ranger of Sakura Mountain, um, he would probably go off on his own and just explore more of space. Um, Noel
Really?
has seen so many interesting things, different races of people, different perspective, different ways of thinking, and especially after his last error, Noel feels the need to become more culturally sensitive on an intergalactic level, because a lot of what Noah's anxieties started on that planet were more than likely just the way they did things on that planet, as far as like their indifference to things and all that, because we never really got any resolution on that. But Noel needs to be more sensitive to, quote, uh, alien cultures on these other planets in these different universes, because just a bit more, understanding and sensitivity to how that, how those people carried themselves could have also uh, saved two Rangers.
Yeah, but also well, I mean, I know it is for Yanni, but like, would that be like? Do you think they're still as new, considering they have been to like certain other planets, or do you think it's different because at this point they're going into uncharted space, whereas everything else was like part of a bigger, a bigger branch of the galaxy? So what do you think that played a part in it, because everything else that he's used to as far as outer space is more structured compared to this?
Absolutely. Almost like every other planet that we've been to has had, in moderation or in extreme ways, customs very similar to the human race at some point in history. um,
Yeah.
like when we went to the planet that was legit, just that was basically the Dora Milaje planet.
Okay,
um
yeah.
just straight up women in the military, women in positions of power. They was like, hey, don't take your hat off, don't do any of that putting on air shit. Like it, there are places like that on Earth. There are things that Noel could ground in reality, but the the apathy on that planet, in this uncharted territory, so close in proximity to two assassination attempts on the Rangers, it just shook Noel in a different way. So yeah, and then like other people have said, it's not the first time we've been to a different planet and people have tried to kill us,
Hmm.
but that was the first time that it was legit two assassination attempts. Like this was going to be a hush hush attempt to take us out, because on the second time, whoever was trying to get us out of there was willing to sacrifice that counselor too.
Mm.
So Noel was, maybe the lightning going off in Noel's brain has made him hyper aware for the worse.
Like a heightened paranoia.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I think this will be, well, Yanni hasn't had the assassination attempt on her life yet, but um I think seeing the stark difference of it for her will be a mixed bag, because again, this is her first time in space as well. But not only that, it's uncharted space. It's basically quote unquote unsanctioned space. So at that point, it's like the Wild West. You know what I mean? And to her, everything's the wild in space is the Wild West because it's the first time. So I feel like it's going to be the opposite effect, where when it is more of a structure and play when it comes to the galaxy, it's gonna be uh too familiar for her. You know what I mean? Like where it is like, okay, we're basically back on Earth with a different font. You know what I mean? So it's gonna I feel like it's gonna be one of those things where she's like having to see how it works on a grander scale, how space works on a grander scale. You know what I mean?
That is very interesting.
And she might get the urge to bust Aubrey down. You never know.
You never know. You never know. Look,
Space is great.
space is great. All right, what's our any more thoughts on that one before we move to our next inquiry? Our next
good.
Omni question.
Omni question. I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. I don't know if we got to this question yet. It says, "What does Yanni plan to tell her parents about her role as a ranger? Does she have a plan, or does she plan to keep it a secret?"
Oh man. Oh, that I actually have been thinking about that. Like, how is she gonna handle? I think it is gonna depend on how it happens. Like, in what way it either gets revealed or she has to say something. I feel like at this moment, she doesn't feel like she has to tell them, but at the same time, with everything that has happened to her, it's like she's starting to see more of their point of view. So like it's one of those things where if she has to tell them or it comes out, she's gonna have to have that conversation. I don't think she wants to because she doesn't really know whether or not she doesn't know the Power Rangers position and everything yet. As far as like what outside of what she's seen with them and seeing from like the news and everything. So her look on everything is already obscure compared to everybody's that's already been doing this for a lot longer than her as well. And them making it public, it means a lot more to her than just we have to show our faces now. You know what I mean? Like even when I was just watching before Yanni even came in the picture, just watching through those episodes, it was crazy. Like it's wild. Like it was really fun to watch how everybody handled these situations and seeing the emotional moments that each ranger had with their family when it came out. Uh, I was like, man, like so now, and I think about that a lot of times when I'm like, how is she going to handle it? And that's why I say I feel like it's going to be depend on the situation, or if she does what is that gonna make her lean into like I was thinking, I was like, would that make her more inclined to work more with the government just for the sake of like she doesn't trust that kids her age should be rangers and that it should be someone, you know what I mean? Like maybe she goes like the Eric route from Time Force. Like you know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's something like that because of the fact that she's like, yeah, no, compare based on what we just did, all of this shit that would just happened to us. Yeah, I don't think we're cut out for this right now. Like might not be the right thing for us to do right now, as kids, as teenagers. So I think she will. It'll just be it'll depend on the situation. At this moment in time though, I don't see her doing it.
No, respectable. Because why if I could have kept it from if no one could have kept it from his grandparents, he would have. If he hadn't been diarrhea of the mouth and told Talia, then he wouldn't have. So yeah, I get that. Damn.
What I do want to ask though, on the same note,
That's an
what
unfortunate
was going
segue.
through you guys' heads for your characters? What was going through y'all heads for your characters? When it came to them having to, reveal that secret. I seen how the characters handle it, but I wanted to know, like, as the players, how did you guys tackle tackle that moment for your character?
For me, I had to think of not only Raven's position, but also like with her past of always having to keep her life secret and separate. I pretty much thought of like the her emotional well-being, like Raven was really nervous and anxious about that, and also pretty much out in her family secret at the same time. But pretty much chose the team in the world more above that. So Raven was pretty much still has some anxieties about it, but it's just kind of pushing, holding it back. if that makes any sense.
No, it makes sense. What about Noel? Like, how did you tackle that for him?
Okay, what was tackle what now?
Sorry, I was saying like in the same line. Like I know how the characters in the show how they went about it. You know what I mean? But how did you, as a player, tackle this situation going into it? Like, what made you? How'd you tackle Noel's decision?
To tell his parents, to tell his adoptive
Yeah.
parents. Okay,
Mhm.
so it just kind of had to be like a straight up clear thing because um, to tell his parent, to tell anyone, was also to tell them, yes, I am that mass murderer. Um,
Mm.
so it wasn't an easy thing to do, like especially to have to tell his grandma, just like the sweetest person to him, the person that's gonna, you know, if he makes a mistake, she's gonna give him a hug, she's gonna cook him that warm grits, she dressed him as a kid, all that. So to have to tell this person, the person from whom I'm proud of you feels the best, to have to tell them that you are a mass murderer or that you are a deplorable criminal in any degree, as a teenager.
Yeah.
No, but it had to be something that Noel had to say, because Noel didn't want them to just find out, and then they just knew he was keeping this as a secret from them. Then it could violate trust even more. But it definitely was a tough decision for Noel to have to do that.
That's fucking dope. I think it was. I think Knowles was probably one. His was one of the more was one of the like heartstringed ones. Because who wants to tell Grandma Gluckner that? You know. I felt bad to hear it. I'm like, oh no, Grandma, please forgive him. Granny,
Like,
no.
like that city in Australia that they've been collecting tithes for at church every Sunday.
Oh, oh no.
Well,
Oh,
as it so happens,
oh no. You know they talked about it at church.
they talked
Hmm.
about it at church.
Oh gosh, the pastor was sweating everything. Oh my gosh.
And
Um.
Sundays are so awkward for Noel now, because it's like, if they say something like, and he used murderers and thieves to tell his message, Brother Glepner. Like, come on, man, don't do me like that.
Oh.
Not an.
Damn.
Oh. It's, oh man. I listen. I feel like this is a side note, but I feel like one of the most awkward things is whenever you like being a kid and having to go to church, especially going to black church. Like whenever you leave out or you leave out and you can tell that you hear like the pastor wants to talk to somebody to the side by themselves. Like oh my god, I know that has to be the God.
Man,
Well, let me talk to you. Well, your grandma didn't told me. Yeah. You one of them Power Rangers. No, but I was like, oh man, that just has that would have sucked for to see that for no. I'm like, oh, that had to be awkward.
as long as you know that your power comes from. Can I get an amen?
No, no.
And then everybody just going off, and Noah's just sitting in the pews like it comes from the morphing grid. I mean, maybe that's what it is, but it's called the morphing grid.
Just sliding down in your seat, trying to get lower and lower. Who you're 6 feet down.
And by the morphine grid, enterprise answers. Oh,
uh,
brother Lebner, I've
I heard some
some
concerning
concerning
things.
things, my brother. Oh, my brother. Oh no.
I- You'd be really
Brother
disrespectful with that pastor. Look, man, don't call me brother.
Oh no, brother Glupner, let me talk to you real quick.
Okay.
Oh jeez.
Um,
Speaking of, there is a question for Noel. Does Noel still have a connection or romantic attraction to Talia? How's
It's
that?
it's
Since we
it's
put it
up,
on Front Street.
it's up in the air. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's up in the air like a cumulonimbus. Um, and really, like there's a point where no even thought how far can I say what I'm doing is because I had that casual whisper in my ear moment. Like Noel doesn't do that. He definitely takes responsibility. But like there's going to be in my mind, I have a plan. I'm not gonna say anything, but like there's going to be a very serious moment. Has to be a very serious moment between Noel and Talia before he possibly reveals who he actually has feelings for. Because remember what happened with Noel, like he likes Talia, she's cool, but remember they got together because Noel was at a party underage drinking and just happened to see uh her empty belly button on a table. And like who knows how many people took body shots out that belly button. She just so happened to choose Noel at the end of the night.
Mm.
And like Noel actually likes he likes Talia. He cares about her. He wants her to be safe and wants to protect her. But um Noel has had like discarded feelings for someone else. And I say that because at this point it just doesn't. But Noel has always had feelings for somebody else.
So
Find
we
out
might get
next time on Omni
we might get to
Rangers.
see it. I was like, are you gonna tell us or I'm
Right.
sitting here waiting.
Shit. How we do this usually? Roll me a d20.
Oh, don't make me out of several. I will
I
roll it.
will.
That's how we play
I
Wait,
this
think I
game.
won't.
I
for the
need
T?
I need a minimum 17 for the T.
Oh, don't even play. I'm gonna
Oh,
roll two. I'm gonna roll two. Just so
right.
I can I'm gonna roll two. I don't care. I'm here for the T. That's what this whole thing is about, the T. Oh, well look at that. I only needed one in the first place. 19, baby. Let's I need the T. Piping hot.
I don't know, Sid.
Put it in my mug.
Well, if I can still be cryptic about it,
Yeah, it's okay. We cryptic. Don't spoil it.
I kind of suggested
Mhm.
this. I kind of suggested this before, but where the wind goes, Noel will follow.
Oh,
Mm.
shit. Hey, I'm not gonna lie though. I'm with it.
Now that I think about it, Noel hasn't really talked about Talia to anybody, really, has he?
Mm-mm.
No, like
Nope.
Noel's, and I did this intentionally. Noel only ever brings up Talia when Talia is around. Like that's the only time
Mm.
Talia
Yeah.
is like
Or someone brings her
real.
up. Yeah, I've never heard him bring it up. Harper actually gets brought up more than Talia.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like people have to bring Talia up, asking Noel some kind of question, and then Noel would respond about it. But like Noel hasn't ever just said, "Oh my God, Talia, I'm so worried about her." Like he's thought about it,
Yeah.
but just it's never been like strong enough to just be like, "Hey guys, can we drive all the way back to space so I can go check on my girl real quick?"
I think the only time I remember her coming up like casually, like more casually, it was the episode with Andros. I think because I think someone just mentioned her because I think it was when Harper was texting Aubrey and I think Aubrey just mentioned Talia and he was like, oh yeah, I mean should be right. Like I'll
Yep.
talk to her later. Like so it's like, oh yeah, so I guess it is. That makes more sense though. Yeah, Zay, get in here.
Mhm.
Hop in here. Didi, what's the next question?
Um. I see some of the top we didn't answer. Like, what is your favorite part of Vanity City?
Oh, I'll let you go first.
Um, I would say it would been the beach because like it's like a relaxing setting and like she pretty much been just to and from like in my head canon like to and from her house and like Noah's cabin more than anything. So the beach is like a whole relaxing place where she can thrive, having wind powers out, just really be able to just feel free and everything. Hey Zay.
Hi.
Hey, what's good, Zaylin? I want to welcome. It's me, Zaylin, aka the voice of Weston, the Orange Omni Ranger. He just hopped in Discord with us, so we got our first guest speaker. Technically, how you doing today, Weston?
My Wi-Fi cut off from my arrivals, and I'm still upset.
Oh
Oh, that
no.
that that is upsetting. That is definitely upsetting. Hopefully, they don't penalize you for that. I think you have to like maybe repeatedly disconnect, maybe like in the same week for that. I don't know,
Mhm.
but so I got a question for Weston, really quick. Weston has been like just in stark contrast to the beginning of like Weston's introduction to the campaign. Weston has now been like the calmest, most down to earth person, but that's really a part of me feel like that's only been marginal. We all know that Weston has, the no pun intended, the shadows of his past are always creeping up. So, in what way do you think Weston is like? How do you think Weston is is going to be moving forward with the Omni Rangers? Like they're probably going to be like this, like a spotlight now. What's been Weston's view on everything, or not really that, but what's been your mindset in approaching Weston, um, in light of everything that's been going on, like these past, I'll say, 3 to 5 episodes.
You know, of course, I guess the past couple episodes, how Weston feels isn't new to Weston. What happened with the Rangers the past couple episodes happened with the Crusaders, so Weston understands what to do. It's more the fact that Weston didn't want to feel that way again. That's kind of getting to him. Of
Mm.
course, along with everything that's going on with him and how and the stuff that the Rangers still don't know about yet, he was hoping that the Rangers wouldn't bring back memories of the Crusaders, which happened, and now Weston's more, you know, if you notice, sometimes Weston will have to forcefully take the lead of the team to get everyone one-minded, self-centered, like, hey, let's focus, let's do this, let's do that, let's get out of here. And that's something that Weston didn't want to do. He wanted to let other people put their thought and put their idea into it.
I definitely think Xylus. I think Xylus's character appreciates that step in, because Xylus has been doing such. And this is just what I feel. I want to get your guys' feelings on this too. I feel like Xylus, and by extension Nano approaching Xylus, has done such a good job just like exhibiting what it is to be a leader through the highs and lows of a team, through the mistakes that Noel has made, through the absolute successes of our previous missions, and just how he has to approach this from now an intergalactic foreign policy standpoint. Uh, Useless word salad right there. But yeah, so like how do you guys, and then just to close this out uh, before y'all respond, with Xylis kind of losing control, I feel like it hasn't really been his fault. He's doing his best, but things are just a bit wild. He went from, wow, one of my members is a murderer, to we're now in this entirely new planet, to now we're in another new dimension. So I think Xylis for the past few episodes has, well, since he's been in this position of leadership, has been doing his absolute best to kind of keep things together, hold things down, while also giving each member of the team the flexibility to act. And I think that is less of him allowing and just more the trust that Xylus has built up in each of the characters by fighting alongside of us as just team members for so long. Like what do y'all think about like Xylus as a leader these past few episodes?
Like Zala's just like a great leader, and like you say, he's trying to do his best, especially as like Zala's is like still trying to get used to like with half of us, we're all from like different kind of ways of life, different kind of personalities and people and everything. So we're still learning each other, especially during these big moments. And also we kind of forget that like Zaz's powers was the first one to evolve from all of us from telepathy to empathy. And since like he's still trying to get used to doing that, but also being like checking on us mentally, and we haven't really had a chance to do that as well for him. And so he's trying his best and trying to. He's got the biggest responsibility from keeping us afloat and keeping himself afloat to be able to do that.
True. I definitely agree with that. I think Xylus has been a great leader as well. Like, sorry. I think he's been a great leader as well. And a lot has been put on his shoulders, especially a lot of it like suddenly with how big everything is becoming after after them going public and everything like that. A lot has been put on him, and for him to be his character to be so young as he is compared to everybody, the way he handles it is really, 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 really well. Like it's times like when I'm like watching when like I would be watching the episodes or if I'm watching them back and stuff like that, I'll be looking at him like, man, like literally I would have thrown hands with so many people at this point. I would have been worse no, but but yeah, like the way he keeps it together like for himself and try to keep it together for everyone else and try to keep everyone else together. And to make a note to what you said, I do think he definitely appreciates Weston's input on a lot of those things too, because he's taken on so much like abruptly, so him him as a character not being and being like I said, being as young as he is, not being afraid to step into those shoes and attempt to walk in them, or like even not even walk in them, walk in them and stride in them. It definitely is a really really cool thing to see how his character has grown into a leader too. But I definitely think he has become like a really great leader.
Yeah.
Ask Yanni, it's a different question. She doesn't know. She's in between. What about you, Weston? Zaylan?
Um, yeah, Gonzalez is actually a really great leader. Of course, there's stuff he still needs to work on, but that's just him being still pretty new, a new leader. But outside of that, there's really is nothing wrong. I'm very proud of Xylus for his, I guess, what? Oh, he's talking about ice. Uh, uh, no, I'm really proud of Xylus though. Like, yeah, like Toki said, for Xylus being that young and taking on a team full of us is crazy in itself.
Yeah.
I would have
You
blew up 5 planets by now, honestly.
imagine being the youngest and having to corral all these other not only just teenagers, but they're also older than you. So you have to like, hey,
Yep.
y'all are being children right now.
Okay.
No, I definitely think that.
Let's see what we have.
Favorite planet the team has been to so far?
Yes.
That was a question from the chat.
Okay. Favorite planet. What we thinking?
Hmm.
I'll leave this one to you guys. As far as like where
Favorite
you guys'
planet.
favorite planet.
Uh, favorite planet so far. Honestly, I don't think none of them just matches Earth. Period.
Hmm.
Like, don't
Which
get me
one?
wrong. All the other planets are great. But I don't think none of them just matches up to Earth.
He said Earth.
Hey,
Just
he's a home
realized.
planet, home bro.
Just realized. He said home planet.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I mean as far as hospitality goes, I definitely have to say Earth.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um I think there's like a lot more going on with these Star Lab scientists than we've been let on to. Like a lot more than what's going on in in space. At least that needs our immediate attention. Only because I feel like we haven't touched on these Star Lab scientists in a while. But back to the question before I tangent. Um, I enjoyed Shay, because Shay was also part of my inspiration for the session that I DM'd as well. I liked just like getting to go like an ancient ruins kind of setting to kind of see some of the inklings of greater lore behind our Zords that we were gonna get. Um, and like I think that was the episode where we all had like the outer body experiences. Isn't that right, Raven?
I think so.
Like we all had outer body experiences on Shay. Yeah. You know what? The planet we went to where
What episode was that?
I'm not sure. I
Um,
know it was season one. I know it was season one. Hold
Okay.
on.
I'm looking.
This planet I'm gonna break out on is gonna be real good.
Huh?
Hmm?
Oh, let me just say, y'all gonna like my session.
Oh,
Oh
Christian said
Lord.
that was before. He said that session was before y'all started streaming. So
Oh. Oh.
Oh, right, because I was still streaming it, but I wasn't saving the VODs. So that's my L. Sorry. Um, okay, hold on. Where was the planet we went to that had the dead zone? I think that it was like an empty planet. We, I know I remember because this session started with Noel getting like just smacked into a wall on the left side. We
Mm.
were hmm. You know what? There's a season one recap. We could watch a little bit of that for a refresher. But uh, I just have to ask because I know about what happened. I don't want to trigger anyone. But okay, for right now, I just want to say that the way Earth has been established um, has been pretty cool because there are still some mysteries. Like 'cause other Rangers have come to Earth, like the Dino Rangers, they came to Earth, right? Um, and then you have like what is it about Earth that makes it a focal point for all these like intergalactic bodies? Like why, you know, something is on Earth, or there's something that they're doing in Star Labs uh that's worth paying attention to from all these other armies and all these other forces in Astronomer. Um, so yeah, Earth has been great, and I can't wait to see what this beach planet Christian was talking about is
Beach
about.
Planet.
Yeah, he said there was going to be a beach planet.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm trying to put this together. A beach. Is it just one beach,
A,
or is it a planet with multiple beaches? Is it like a
I
bunch
think it
of
was supposed to be a
islands?
filler.
yeah, it's
I don't
definitely going to
know.
be a filler.
Oh, okay, I
It's
was like, I'm trying
like
to put
a
the plans like, is the planet half island and half ocean?
is it? Is it
Is it
the
Beach
Christian?
sorcerer?
planet. It's a beach planet. So my planet is like, what does that mean? Is it just sand and water?
No, you'll find out soon enough.
Oh gosh, we still didn't get to play blitzball.
No, stop
Oh my
that.
god! If we would have got to play blitzball,
I would have lost it.
oh my god!
Listen, if
Oh,
we would have seen Waka, that would have been a
Walk.
fight.
hey, we bringing blitzball to Earth. It's about time Earth has a blitzball team.
I wouldn't be able to do it anyway because, like, in my head, Raven can't swim. Noah's starting to teach her.
We gotta get her. Gotta get your water legs,
Yeah, I
your
gotta
sea legs.
swim skill tree up.
Yeah. We have to redo your point.
Okay.
That's funny.
Says, where's your
Y'all,
characters? Oh, go ahead.
did we ever have a name for the planet that we met Angels on? Was that where he was from?
Wasn't that
Yeah,
KO?
yeah, 35
35.
in the case.
Yeah,
I
because
enjoyed that a little bit.
that's
You
isn't
know,
that
we
where
didn't
Yeah.
get
we
to be on it
also
much.
That was mine.
isn't that where we also met Jay, who was the like the yellow crystal prime ranger? Isn't that where we also met the yellow crystal prime?
You?
Yes. Mm-hmm. But his name wasn't Jay.
Cute.
It was
It
a
was
letter though. You were
it was a
there.
letter. It was some letter of the alphabet.
I was like, "Who was Jay?" I mean, technically, you did because some of my friends.
It wasn't too far off.
I know, so close. But yeah, no, that was KO35 was fun too. The freaking that was the one I was gonna say too. Not only just because it was the first time I got to be on here with you guys, but I did like it too because it was cool to see the two fights happening at the same time, and like the two different the team ups, like you guys fighting against the Psycho Ranger and everything like that was super fun. That's probably my favorite. Aside from Earth too, you guys are right. Aside from Earth, because thinking back, Earth kind of was slapping.
The planet we went to where we went into the like Shane was DJing, I think that planet was cool too. Because I think before
Yeah.
that was like that was the planet where I think we had split up and we were like some of us were in like the marketplace. The other ones kind of went to the military. Yeah, I remember that planet now. No, that's where Shane
Omega
sent
6.
us. That's where Shane sent us. Shane sent us to Omega 6.
Yeah,
Um,
Omega 6.
but
And his name was
that was a
Xylus,
fun
and
planet
that's his
too.
voice.
That was a fun planet too. But the planet where Shane was DJing, I enjoyed that one also.
Yeah, Omega 6 was really fun. Omega 6 reminds me of Nowhere from Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what it reminded me of. The giant celestial head that they usually have, like where everybody's usually at on Guardians of the Galaxy movies. But yeah, that's what Omega 6 reminds me of.
Who do you think your characters trust the most? Has the recent argument
Ooh.
between the group changed that at all?
Who wants to answer first? Zaylin,
I'll-
who,
I'll-
who do you trust? Who you or don't trust?
The most Weston.
And you know, let's
Weston
also
trust-
throw in there who do you trust the least, just to make it controversial.
Heard.
but- so
Spicy.
Weston trusts Aubrey the most because
Okay.
they had private talks about some things. and then the least, honestly, would be Raven.
What?
Oh,
Let's go. Pop off.
That is controversial.
I think Raven. I think no. I think Weston has this idea that if he tells Raven too much, Raven's going to spill to everyone.
also I'm a snitch. Hmm.
And it's not with no ill will intent, but
Oh yeah, I got you.
I feel like there's stuff that Weston still wants to keep private. And if I tell Weston tells Raven more stuff to keep private, eventually Raven's going to spill something out by accident.
Gotcha.
I think through everything, and because of them having the childhood together, I think Noel definitely trusts Raven the most. Um, he believes that Raven always makes the right decisions. Uh, so honestly, if just because in the moment Noel was like drunk, if Noel had been sober when Xylus made him the leader again, he would have passed that responsibility to Raven, because I think Aubrey ended up getting that responsibility by default. But had Noel been in his right mind, he thought that that Raven would have been the most logical leader after Xylus. She's level-headed. She thinks about the entire team. Um, as far as practical ability, she has the most practical ability of just flight, and on top of that, she is like in terms of, because I'm gonna just go ahead and say this. I feel in terms of raw power, Noel is the strongest, but when it comes to hand skill, Raven easily eclipses him. Like it's been shown a few times. She easily eclipses him in like close quarters, hand to hand. Um, Noel would have to get stealthy and shameful to like score any decisive victories against Raven. Um, that said, I think the person that Noel trusts the least, I don't want to cheese out and say himself, but I think the person he trusts the least right now is Talia, because they're
Ooh.
Mm.
because they're all the same age, um, and we all got powers, and at no point have any one of us just thought, oh well, we can just blow that whole situation up and we'll be fine. Um, until Talia just happened to have dropped that ball. So it's because remember there was a point where Noel was no shade, I promise, but Noel was considering that, hey, maybe Talia could be the Red Ranger. We could bring in another girl in the session, but yeah, Noel thought Talia would make a good Red Ranger if we still needed to fill that quota. But yeah, he definitely trusts her the least because he knows what she would do if she had the same power that they all do, that we all do.
Yeah, Talia might be evil as fuck. You never know.
I'm telling you, I
Mhm.
look, that last name is all Ghoul. We have not heard her last name the whole campaign. I'm
Hey,
telling you,
That's
it's
listen.
true.
all Ghoul.
She gonna end up being really gonna end up being. Everybody thinks. Everyone thinks that the queen is dead, but she's probably just undercover as Talia. They're like, oh no, Strowman is not even around anymore. Meanwhile, in Vanity City.
Oh my God, what in
Can you
the
imagine?
what in the Kingdom
Oh
Hearts body swap? Had another
uh
life.
I had another life. Oh, the wake up will be crazy.
Let me see.
um, I guess I'll go because I definitely trust kind of like, of course, naturally know the most because like know something from childhood, and also he didn't spill about like when Nana was DMing, Raven wanted to give up her Morpher after losing everybody, and like he could have easily said that because like Raven just felt the pressure of everything along with a lot of talks, but the person she trusts least is her sister, definitely. Um, Mostly because like in the one shot without the case, he told her that Autumn was the one that kind of much gave up the team. That's how people knew their identities and everything. And so even though
Mm.
that, yep, even though that Raven knows that was from another dimension, um, Autumn still kind of side-eyeing her because I remember I was looking at my notes. She was asking why don't you be a Power Ranger for money? And that's like all against Raven's principles. So that's why she hasn't really tried to contact her throughout anything at all, even though she was way closer to her in the beginning of the campaign.
Wow.
That's crazy. Y'all got some hard hitting ones. Yeah, like nah, not my sister. She ops for sure.
Yeah, and you know what? That's actually great that she like she worded it like that. And especially what I was saying about like what Talia would do if she was a ranger after what she said. Like the loser ranger planet that we just came from, like we saw a lot of people like that. A lot of
Hmm.
people that were just like, oh, I have power. What I say goes, and that is the world that the keepers has cultivated. Um, that was the world that Yumiko was getting ready to give up on. Um, so it drives it home that in spite of Noel being angry about what it is, like why he was chosen as a ranger, like it was supposed to be some grand fate thing. But if that was the case, how could he have made so many mistakes? Was he unqualified and just so happened to be in a place at a time? Does whoever or whatever grants um, us the power of a ranger, are they fallible for choosing Noel? Like Nola's been thinking a lot about what it means that he became a ranger and what good and what bad has come from that. Um, was that relevant to the question at all? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
No, it was relevant. It was definitely relevant. Yeah. Um, Mine's gonna be short and sweet because yeah, but I think because I think everyone knows mine. But obviously, Yanni trusts Aubrey the most because no matter if they're like at odds or whatever right now, like that's the one she has the most of a bond with. Like even like her reasoning for like part of her reasoning for even like still staying as a ranger is partly because of him too. So and like so she's by proxy learning to trust everybody else. Um, and she also has history with Raven just a little bit, so but she's still wary because she doesn't technically know her as much, but she definitely she's giving everyone more of a chance in order to like to build that trust. Even her like the whole moment with her and Noel in the Loser Ranger universe when he got to do the Omni Strike and stuff like that, um her giving him that redemption and stuff like that's her like her kind of like trying to she wants to be a part of the team but at the same time she doesn't like her actions of everyone is kind of like put her like I'm not gonna put all my eggs in this basket just yet.
Yeah.
uh and so like her distrust the person she trusts the least would probably just be the rest of the team at the moment because like all she knows is just all the situations that's happening really. And seeing everyone's different dynamic, and she's like literally actively watching everybody's instant reaction to this as a ranger and as themselves, because she's seeing both parts of, she's getting to know both parts of them at the same time. So it's also her differentiating, like not only just for herself, like the choices of a ranger, but at the same time for like watching everyone else and how what makes their choices as a ranger like deem them of this role, you know what I mean, as a ranger. And how they're like how they act and how they're moving and stuff like that. So she's very wary of everybody else, and especially given this last situation, it's kind of like, oh well, then yeah, I don't really know about any of these. I don't really know about anybody. um, I would say she did like, except for like she did bond a little bit more with Raven on the other planet. So that for sure. But I think for her, it's more like, yeah, let's just see, because I don't know these people really. We it's kind of like you're in a situation where you're on a business trip with your coworkers that you never really talk to, you know? So
Wait,
you're
so
actually like
out
learning
of
who they
all
are.
the other Rangers you don't trust, who do you trust the least, and why is it Xylus?
And why is it Xylus?
Damn.
If I had to specifically say which person on the team I trusted the least, it would probably be Weston. And it doesn't come from a place of active distrust. It just comes from a place of not enough trust yet.
Right. That's what
Um
it is for her. There's not enough trust yet there.
yeah, because like Noel knows that there are still some, things that Weston keeps from us. It's just in the way that he acts. He's always been very dodgy. There was even a time where when Noel was still the everybody's friend character, where Weston like rejected that friendly, that amicable advance. Um so maybe it's just that there isn't enough of a bond between Noel and Weston. Personally, like Noel feels like he's had some one-on-one time. He's had like he's done the Zuko field trip with everybody but Weston. So
You know, I don't
it's
think Weston has a bond with any Rangers still.
and that's fair. That's fair because like I was saying, Weston like
But it's
feels
also
very.
sketchy. That
It
sucks as fuck.
is. It is. He's very dodgy. He's like, kind of like a little sketchy, but that he keeps things to himself is
Yeah.
it's very characteristic. Like Raven is wind. She's like very like she can create the flow of things, change the flow, or go with the flow of things. Aubrey is earth. He's usually very planted in whatever he's doing, stubborn. Xylus is telepathy. He's always very sharp and intuitive about things. Noel is lightning, which means sometimes he can be very quick-witted, but also unfortunately very impulsive as well. Yanni is ice. She can calm things down, cool us off, but she can also, she's shown to be very cold to people. Weston is shadows, so he will keep some things to himself. He will appear kind of dark and shady to people. So it's just, I think maybe it plays in to how our elements, how our rangers got their particular powers as well. But I definitely don't fault Weston for keeping his secrets. Like I think I actually said that in an episode. Like Noel understands Weston will tell us what he wants us to know when he thinks it is appropriate for us to say those things. And it wouldn't be fair to just kind of force that out of him any more than it would have been fair for us to just reveal our identities if it had maybe been like an even split of yes or no's.
That's why Weston left last session.
Mm.
Mm.
Well, I'm just gonna keep not trusting him. I don't care.
She said, "I'm gonna keep on
That's
not
why you don't
keeping
trust
on."
Xylus, because
Oh,
the argument
No.
between Yanni and Xylus had me like, yep, they don't like each other at
Okay, so
all.
let me. So since we bringing the tea out, let
Uh
me
oh.
just know. So the
here we
thing
go.
is that with that is it's not. It's only. It only. I think it only was explosive as it was because a lot of their personality is the same. So they were just clashing. It's just like just them butting heads because they both were like not wanting to be right, but they were like, there's no other choice. You know what I mean? They were both like in their heads about the situation. This is how I looked at it, at least. They're both so much like trying to read the situation and trying to get all variables, but they both won't give each other a leeway when he is the leader. And now you have this new ranger who hasn't been through everything that y'all have been through. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. There's other ways around this, and they're like, and Zyla's like, we don't have another way around. Look what's happening right now.
Right.
Like, and so I think it was just them butting heads. Because honestly, I think she would trust her trust for Xylus and Weston would be on the same level, because Weston hasn't really said anything to her either, except for him trying to his one of their first interactions is him trying to talk to her after that situation. You know what I mean? So him like coming like trying to be more aggressively like get your shit together. We're a team. Da 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 da. Like she doesn't know him, so here this is
Hey,
aggression.
crazy enough, Weston wasn't gonna come at you aggressive.
Exactly. But what I'm saying from her point of view though, she doesn't know this person. She just had this entire like situation with someone else, and now you're coming to tell her like you're overreacting, la da 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 da, blase blase. But so I think her trust for them will be on the same level in the sense. I don't think she just distrusts Xylus more. They just have a lot more disagreements because they're both stubborn in that way.
But y'all had that argument and Weston was in his seat scared.
It was like, please don't come over here.
I was not in the mood. I'm looking.
And
straight outside
another
the
thing.
window. Oh, no.
Next time I see that damn dog running around here.
Listen, I haven't done nothing with my dog yet, and I'm so upset.
Oh, I can't lie that
Oh.
Raven is still side-eyeing Weston a little bit, but not. But let me explain. It's also like she trusted him a lot more, but also in the back of her head thinking about the Crusaders, especially like what happened with her family before with them in the past. So it's not that directly towards Weston, but it's also at like the potential of, since he revealed himself, what's gonna happen next, especially with the bakery and everything.
That's all I want to say. Listen, I was not calling Raven a rat. Listen, if anything, Weston wouldn't trust Kay the most out of anybody. But at this point, Weston doesn't have a reason to say that because he already knows Kay's finna tell all the Crusaders.
Wait,
There's no point
let
of
me
being like, there's no point in being like, oh, I can't trust Kay keeping a secret because Weston knows he's finna go tell everybody. So at
You
this
know
point,
what?
it's like, he out the window.
Let me
With
change that because
Raven,
Kay.
with Raven, it's like, here's an example. It's like if I gave Raven a stack of books and I keep giving her a stack of books, eventually her arm's gonna get tired and a book's gonna fall. That's how Weston telling Raven things goes with him. If I keep telling her things, eventually something's going to slip out that wasn't supposed to.
So he's a snitch.
Mm. Untrustworthy
No, 'cause
NPCs. Untrustworthy
Wait a minute.
NPCs. That
Wait a
list
minute,
is
wait a
getting
minute, wait a
long.
minute.
Kay,
Wait a
Talia.
minute.
Kay's at the top of my list
NPCs.
though.
Well, no.
Oh
'cause
my
that
god,
would
these
be-
NPCs are the Psycho Rangers. Now I just realized that all these
Oh, yeah,
people
y'all
are
talking
the
about Kay?
actual Psycho Rangers.
Yeah,
Well,
Kay.
Kay had already said that he was going to tell the Crusaders about this.
Oh no.
And Weston was like, go ahead. Because at this point, it's like, what else can Weston do to help Kay? Like, Kay and Weston are no longer good for the rest of the campaign. They're no
The
longer good
foreseeable
with each
future.
other.
Oh damn.
There is no reconnecting that friendship because it could have happened there.
That's crazy. I want to see that. I want to see that clash.
Like,
to be
once
honest.
Weston and Kay sees each other, it's on sight the second they see each other.
Oh,
Damn.
I didn't know it was on sites.
On Saito?
Yeah, I don't think y'all know the
Understood.
Crusaders. I don't think. Oh, that's a fan for you. I gotta teach y'all the Crusaders.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
new drop alert. I saw this. I don't know if we were expanding on this, but Ember just put a great question in the chat, and I wanted to get everyone to answer it for sure. She's like, if there is a crossover between Omni Rangers and any other Road Magic campaign, including past, present, or future ones, what would you want it to be and why?
That's a good question.
Live from Canada.
Nice.
Oh, Road
I
Magic
think
campaign for a crossover episode. Young Justice.
Young Justice, really?
hmm
that's not a bad
Why
choice.
would you want Young Justice?
I don't know. They're both in the kind of heroes versus villain type of idea. Theme wise, they both are similar to each other in a way. So
Yeah, I could see that. I would listen. I wouldn't want Yanni and Nia to meet. They might actually fight. That's too much. They might actually get into it because
I
neither one
think
of them.
Izzy and Raven would fight, though, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. Izzy and Raven would probably get into it a lot. What about for you, DD?
Um, Shadows of Olympus, because I feel like with
Ooh,
everybody's powers and different abilities will probably it'd be really interesting, especially with how many different personalities there are.
yeah. That'd be a very like interesting mix of characters to see together. And they're both also all coming into their powers too. Like
Hmm.
it's almost the same dynamic as a Young Justice, but in a different because of Young Justice they already know they're just trying to they're becoming a team. You know what I mean? It's what like they know they're sure of themselves almost. And the Rangers are too. So it's just like tackling that as a team is that dynamic. But with Shadows Olympus, they're like all learning these powers together. You know what I mean? So I think that's super cool. Like they're all learning like their actual natural gifted abilities. And the combinations, oh, that would be sick. I was hoping someone would say Shadows of Olympus. Hell yeah. Honestly, for me though, for me, it would probably be the
Vampire Masquerade.
no, it would be the Harry Potter one actually.
I was gonna say
Oh,
that one too. I was gonna say
Just
that one
because
too.
you
Uh,
can pull some very cool like Mystic Force type shit with it.
yeah,
I'm sure. So
I
I
would
think that would have
love
been
a
great.
crossover with a Cult V.
Yeah, Colt V for sure. And I think it'd be funny just to see them having to be like, oh yeah. So wait, they have wands and they're not rangers, or even the having them having the crossover and having to discover the Mystic Rangers. That'd be cool. Colt.
Wow,
You put
that
Colt
ooh,
would
six.
go
I like.
nuts. That would go crazy.
Wow. That would be fucking sick. I would love that. Bring them out. They just out here randomly.
You know
The
what?
Omni Rangers have to go to another school.
You know what?
Ooh,
To add on to
wow.
that,
The Omni Rangers in
will you?
Hogwarts is
Crazy.
Oh Lord,
like look,
be in detention all
like
the time.
trust and believe. As fast as Noel is, I'm still gonna be late for class every day.
I heard they had a greenhouse. You know what that means? It's a greenhouse.
Adding on to the cult, Bob, what house do you think your characters will be in? I know Raven will definitely be Slytherin.
Weston's character.
I believe Yanni would probably be Slytherin too.
Hold on.
Weston will be Ravenclaw.
At Big Ravenclaw. Let's go.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm
Big
Ravenclaw in
Ravenclaw.
real life, but I think Yanni would be
Because
Slytherin for
in
sure.
real life, I'm a Hufflepuff, but as far as Weston go, yeah, he's Ravenclaw.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah, I definitely think Yanni's personality would land her there in Slytherin for sure. She is very rash. There it is. Take off the sticker. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, Ravenclaw in the building. Actually, I'm glad you put that because I actually have Ravenclaw stickers and I don't know where I put them at.
I had House Emos. I don't know if I still have them. I do.
Speaking of crossovers, what would be your dream Power Ranger team up?
Dream Power Ranger team.
You know what?
Jungle Fury.
I'm not even go. Well, oh, okay. Power. Okay, so different Power Rangers. I thought we were
Mhm.
opening it up to
Omni
like
Rangers.
anything.
Yeah, the Omni Rangers teaming up with another set of Rangers. Like, what would be your
Set of
dream
Rangers.
team up?
I'd
Huh?
freak out with Jungle Fury, especially if RJ was
Damn
there.
it, you took my answer.
If RJ was there as a purple, ooh, I'm freaking out.
Oh, you took my answer.
You can
I
still
gotta
say
think
it.
now.
To not be biased and pick Time Force, because that's my favorite one. I would say I would love to see. I would love to see the Omni Rangers cross over with like the fuck. Why did it run out of my brain just now? More with the fuck. God damn it! I did it again.
Is it a other
Uh,
related group?
I'm getting brain farts. I'm actually super high. That's probably why though. But come back to me. Actually, don't. Ninja Storm.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Ninja Storm. I was like, they're right there. Just say the name. My brain kept wanting
Yeah.
to say Dino Fury. I was like, no, I don't want to say Dino Fury.
I had it between Ninja Storm and one other. So the one other that I was thinking of was, of course, the OGs themselves, the Mighty Morphin.
Mhm.
Um,
Mm.
because I just when I heard that question, I immediately thought, man, an Omni Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, skydiving scene.
Oh
Mm,
yeah,
mm.
that'd be sick.
That would that
That was
that's all the 4-year-old in me needs.
for real. Hey, listen, I would love that, and
Ooh,
I will
okay.
just so we can team up with them,
Mm.
and I can use double Falcon Zord attack with Tommy.
My
What?
God.
I have one more. Because if it's not Jungle Fury,
Okay.
I'm going with Zeo.
Oh,
Oh.
Zio was in my head too. I'm not gonna lie, but Zio would be sick too.
I think for me, Mystic Force.
Mystic Force, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. We were talking about that earlier. Yeah, I think I really need to go back and rewatch Mystic Force. I was telling Dee Dee earlier. I know a lot of people say it's really really good. I just couldn't sit through it. Either for some reason at that time I couldn't watch it.
Crossover with Lightspeed Rescue would be pretty cool too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Lightspeed Rescue would be fire. I could see that. I can definitely see that. Not a team up coming soon.
Mm.
Oh, roll a d20. I need to know.
Okay. Initially, I thought the question was opened up to all different verses.
Let's just open it all. Let's open it
The
all
the,
up.
the first
And it's
thing I
fine.
was gonna say was, look, Omni Rangers and Persona users, move out the way. Get out of the
Oh,
way.
Oh.
Just get out of the way. And it doesn't
that's
even
a
matter
world level event.
which yes, that is a world level event. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's Doom. We gotta fight Doomsday at that point
Mm-hmm.
on both fronts. Technically, if you want to be, if it's Persona, oh, that would be sick. Actually, even with my limited Persona knowledge, because my roommate used to be super into Persona, so they kind of gave me all the Persona knowledge I have.
I'm talking
But yeah,
about like imagine you try to call your Zord and all of a sudden a mask appears on your face. You gotta rip it
no.
off. You rip it off and your Zord just appears behind you. Oh, is this how we're fighting this time? That would just be so cool to me. And the only reason I think that is because in the Persona universe, they have skins for each of the characters. for the Neo Featherman, and Neo Featherman is basically Persona's their versus version of Sentai and Power Rangers. Um, and the Neo Featherman masks actually have a big plot relevance to the first ever Persona game. And they've been in almost every single Persona game since. So I always thought that was cool that Persona always had that that call to Sentai and Power Rangers in their verse. And just because of that, I think it would be just so badass if we traversed over into the metaverse with the Phantom Thieves or maybe Sea Squad.
That'd be sick. I would fuck with that a lot, actually. Oh man, that'd be fucking fire. I would personally, one of the ones I would want to see, if we're opening it up like that. To be real, I would want to see Omniverse crossover with Ruby.
Yes.
Mm.
I would definitely love to see that. Them
That would be sick.
crossover with Ruby.
That'd be sick.
Fucking fighting Grim and everything. That'd be fire. The Psycho Rangers somehow controlling Grim.
Exactly. You just drop into the world, and all of a sudden, everybody's weapon has some kind of gun on it too.
Yeah, our weapons literally turn.
Look, I'm telling you, I'm gonna be in there, Sun Wukonging it up with the Kasarigamas. They're not gonna be able to. They're not gonna fuck with no man. They wouldn't be able, man. Damn, that was such a great scene.
Oh yeah, he was fire.
What if we landed in Ruby and like half of us were Faunus?
Oh wow.
Oh my god. I love that.
You're the only. Your name is literally Raven.
Like Blake was a huge inspiration for Raven, so like that's like I'm down for that all the way.
I love Blake. Blake's one of my favorite characters. She is probably my favorite character, actually. But yeah, no, I definitely could see that. Us being Fonces would be really funny, actually.
Oh my god, No would just come. No would definitely be a rabbit Faunus. He'd be a bunny Faunus, just like Coco. Not Coco, but Velvet, just like Velvet.
You and Bun Buns finally can fuse together.
Yeah, Bun Bun's just inexplicably missing, and my hat's gone too. It's just bunny ears there. Like what?
Oh god, now I want to see that. Someone needs to draw that. Whoever you're watching this at some point, please draw these.
Oh my god,
Draw all of these so we can see them.
Noel's semblance would be, because he's a rabbit, his semblance would be to make lightning copies of himself.
Oh man. Oh yeah, that's another reason too, because the semblance aspect of it is so so sick, like especially with our powers and stuff. What about you, DD? If you can open it up, not just another Ranger team, but someone like any crossover with any other.
It wouldn't work because there's a lot of guys on our team, but definitely like Sailor Moon or possibly.
It would absolutely
Yeah,
work.
I think Sailor Moon could work. Yeah,
it would absolutely work. Like I'm doing all the transformations.
Oh yeah, the full thing.
Everything.
Oh man, we are magical.
Yes, like we're magical girls. We're Maho Shoujo technically.
Yeah,
that's what we are. But which came first, the Maho or the Sentai? That's a good question.
Ooh.
But
Oh, that's a good point. Like everyone's always get turned into Digimon. That would be another cool world. Oh my god.
Ooh.
That'd be crazy.
Tiberimon. Oh, that has a nice ring to it. Hold on.
We need art of that. Oh my god.
we finally actually have a physical, an in-person conversation, not just, you know
Oh
what I
my
mean, not
god.
having to,
What if it
not
was
having to pass out.
what if it was season 4 though? Fusing with our Zords to become the
Oh,
Digimon.
oh
Oh my
yeah,
Yes.
god.
Frontiers,
That would
Frontier.
go.
Frontiers.
Yes,
Yeah.
Frontiers.
Frontier is my favorite.
Digimon, forever united as one
There's one
Digimon.
Digimon. Hey, that song was so good.
Bro,
Hmm.
Oh
sis.
man, like when you're like, oh man, they gonna change it, huh? Oh, they changed the song, but it's a bop. Okay,
Oh man.
that was such a good one. What about you, Weston? I see you hiding back there.
What's the question?
It-
Team ups. We said the Power Ranger team ups, but what if you could do a team up with anything outside of Omni Rangers and something else outside of Power Rangers? What would it be?
Oh, this isn't going to work at all. But my favorite team is the team from Akame ga Kill.
ooh,
Ooh.
Night Raid.
Mm.
Ooh, no, that would be the Power Rangers coming into a corrupt society full of nobles. Oh god, no, that would work. That would work.
Yeah,
That would
that
work.
would definitely work.
Cause nah, they would definitely be like the chin check to our morality that we need because they are like, oh yeah, we're killing bad people, but we don't expect to go to heaven after this. Like we're murderers too. We're murderers just like them.
Oh wow.
We're not heroes at all. So like I think that would be like a necessary chin check to our morality as naive heroes, young naive heroes. Um,
Can you imagine if that happened before the incident where those Power Rangers died? Like, if we went there first,
Ooh.
mm,
like, no, do you think No's like whole like reasoning would be different? Would he have upped the blicky on that ship if we went through that first?
no, no, he definitely wouldn't have. And see, the thing is, it's really polarizing to have to do all these what ifs for no, and that's not a complaint. It's more like, I feel like the weight of that action. And I've really been feeling that since Australia too, because there are a lot of damn. What if we had done this differently? How what direction would the story have gone in had No not done that? Um, No had a pretty good. He had a good bond with Shane, and
Mm-hmm.
what is that going to come to now? Um, One of the most important things to know outside of like his standard sense of justice being a ranger is his friends and his reputation with his friends. So unfortunately now one of his friends is going to think, and I didn't think, just know that he's the murderer of his daughter and his protege. Um, mhm. So if Noel had maybe gone through just some kind of chin check to his morality, um, not seeing things as so black and white in a whole new area, no less, then maybe he would have made different decisions. I can't say for sure. Like I said, it's like there are so many what ifs. Um,
Okay,
there are
create these different timelines. We need these.
okay. So like, let's say Noel doesn't take out those Rangers or like doesn't shoot that ship, right? This this would have been the result of his faith in the team. Um, there was a moment where we took maybe two too many shots to the ship, and Noah's faith started to shake, where he was told to kind of stay in his room and not really be active on weapons anymore. Um, Noah would probably like meeting up with L and the that future Red SPD Ranger. That would have probably been, that just would have been more friends for Noel. Like in that meeting up, that eventual camaraderie that would have come from that additional support. Because I mentioned this earlier. In this moment, Noel felt alone. He didn't feel the support of Shane or rangers from another planet or just different aliens or different species that were on our side against Astronema. He felt like they were alone in this fight and they were being cheated because somehow, like you said, a single one of the Psycho Rangers is worth their entire team. Like, if they're the ones being chosen by fate to do good, why is that the case? Uh, Noah struggled with that a lot, but being able to meet up with L and the Red SPD Ranger would have definitely curbed that anxiety, reminding him that they do have support in the universe, and that if anything bad happens, people can help them. There are other people capable of helping them. Um, because one of like the biggest moments for Noel in this session was when Xylus and Aubrey lost their limbs, because that was like a reality check. Oh, we're not invincible in these suits. Like, in spite of the damage we take, we can still possibly bleed and die, or bleed and possibly die um, in these battles. And maybe because Noel had always had the support of his friends, he was always on the team. That was never really a thought that crossed his mind. Maybe because Noel, getting a little meta here, had a lot better luck in the first half of things, that he never considered that a mistake like Australia or being smacked to the side or his friends losing their limbs in an explosion, like these kind of bad things or accidents could happen.
That's deep as fuck. I love that. I love the turmoil. Like I know you saying like you hate that you have to have so many what ifs, but I think that makes it great. That shows the impact of that character and those decisions on the story. Like the fact that the character, even you as a player, are still trying to wrestle with those things shows how much of an impact and how much you put into that scene. How much you are just as much just as much of Noel as he is you. You know what I mean? So I think it's dope. Anytime I'm like seeing or I rewatch it and see everybody's character, then I think now rewatch the new episodes and like seeing the contrast is so crazy. So good though. Uh, it, I didn't want to interrupt you. I don't know if you were done or not. I just wanted to say that. But Christian put one in the chat. It says, "Is there any routes you wanted to take with your character but decided against it?"
Mm.
Uh, I wanted Weston to quit the Rangers, but I forgot. Does that count?
Where you forgot you wanted him to what?
That one, I wanted Weston to quit the Rangers at one point, and I totally forgot to. So
Oh wow.
I just kept.
Oh,
Why did you want him to quit?
I don't remember. I told you I forgot. So I
Oh,
just kept
okay. Okay.
Oh, there was something else. Oh, I wanted to change Weston's color from orange to blue, but I think Raven had talked about how there isn't an orange ranger. So I was like, you know what? I'll keep orange.
Yeah, in the American version, I don't think there is an orange one. There is an orange one, I think, in one of some of the
The
Sentai.
last season, like there's an orange one, like the last Power Rangers, but that she don't count.
I didn't watch the last one, so I didn't know.
Exactly.
I didn't watch the last
She
one.
don't count.
if
Is that the Cosmic Fury one?
yeah.
She don't count.
Okay, yeah, I didn't watch that.
What the hell? I
That's,
I didn't finish
that,
it.
That one is garbage.
I honestly didn't finish it.
Okay. I gotta take a puff before I give my answer because I'm about to get raw for a second.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Well, mine's not deep, so my character is pretty new. So it's not. I would say that I was going to originally make Yanni more one. I was going to make her more timid at first and like make her a lot opposite than she is now. And but I decided not to do it because I was like, man, I don't want to just come in and start playing with you guys and just be quiet the whole time and just, you know what I mean? I could do that here, but I feel like it wouldn't be adding anything. I didn't want to do something that I didn't feel like I would be adding to you guys. So that, and I also wanted to go. I was gonna go full evil Tommy at first too, but then I was like, no. I talked about it with Christian before. I was like, I could. I do want to come in here and make them not like her. Period. Like nobody likes her at all. But I didn't want to do that. I was like, I'd just rather them naturally not like her. If they, I would just let her be her, and then if it happens, it happens. But at the same time, uh, I didn't want to be like too much. I definitely was planning on being way too much. I wanted her to be like way much more of a problem for the team when it comes to Aubrey, because of Aubrey's journey and stuff, and since she is coming from his past and she doesn't know any of that journey technically, I wanted her to be like that, come in and instantly be like that bad influence for him. But I kind of decided against it at the last, but as I do like the way it turned out. But I was like, no, I'm just gonna make her just be the worst. But yeah, I just decided to change my mind on that. Like I said, mine's not that deep, so.
Mine was I definitely was gonna have Raven be a way more mean and less empathetic, especially like her coming this being forced to go to Benny City, kind of like again being uprooted and everything. But then I just noticed that like the team needed a better balance and everything. So I guess being like the designated like team mom was definitely helped me build with that have like even though she's still kind of mean, but still kind of break that down for gentler side.
Yeah, I definitely think she carries that really well though.
Yeah.
Even if it's forced on her sometimes, I think she still like does a really good job at holding it together. I definitely agreed. I would definitely like agree with like either her or Xylis stepping up and being a leader. If there was if that had to happen like before Xylis became leader, I was like, man, I could see either one of them being the leader of this team because they keep the team together. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, so this is, and I kind of talked about this with y'all about how I felt like as a player when I found out that I had killed the two SPD Rangers. So really quick, let me just tell y'all how I was initially thinking I was going to end Ranger Defect Part 2. The same way Noel and Aubrey, like Noel was channeling his electricity to power the ship so that they could move. I was going to make it so that when the boss monster was going to open the portal using our weapon as a conduit to get to our world, and in the end, when we beat the monster, the portal was going to start closing, but Noel was going to basically stay behind and use his power to keep it open. And that was essentially how I was going to write Noel out of the story, because I didn't, there was a point where I just didn't know what I was going to do with Noel, or as a player after, I found out about the SPD Rangers. Um, but then I started to think about how even after what happened with Australia, like how there was a positive response to it, and even with what happened with the SPD Rangers among the group, there was still a positive response to it. Uh, so it just kind of made me reconsider, because this is my first time doing a a long term D&D campaign. So if anybody plays a 200-hour JRPG or anything like that, you know, or let's just say you just played a JRPG in general, if you've ever played that game for 5-10 hours straight, forgot to save, and then lost, you know the way you felt when you looked at that game over screen. And that's the way I felt when I saw those two red and green space morphers. Like, damn, all the time I've put in this session and I just fucked up big time. And then also, because that was my first time being in a session like legitimately drunk, not beer drunk, but like liquor, tequila drunk, I was like, damn, like how could I have done that? Like how could I have not like just considered that there were other NPCs that were also Rangers? Um, there was also another way that I was going to take Noel that I decided against, where I was just deciding, okay, well, Noel will be the bad guy then. Noel will be Black Psycho. Um, and anytime like Noel will be the Black Ranger of Sakura Mountain, he will protect his grandparents, but everybody else is an enemy to him. Ranger, astronomer, alien, everybody but his grandparents are Noel's enemy. And that was the second route that I was going to take Noel that I had decided against. But especially after, so I decided like way before I actually did part 1 of that DM session that that's not what I was going to do, that I was actually going to do both of these sessions and uh just continue with Noel, whatever, whatever may happen, we'll just see. uh Also because I kind of felt bad for Sokka personally, because I was like, dang, he gave Noel his dead brother's gun. So it just kind of felt like I had dropped the ball as a player by not considering that there were other NPCs. Um, but I'm glad that I didn't make either of those decisions to take Noel in, because Noel at his core, Noel wants to be everybody's friend. He wants to be, quick as lightning with, "Hey, are you okay? Hey, what's going on?" Like even when Weston was like very much like when we went to the planet where we met Yellow Crystal Prime, Weston was being very uh, standoffish. And when Noel went back to try to, talk to him, he had to press Noel to the point where when Noel went to put his arm around, he was like, no. So Noel has always wanted to be like unconditional support and friendship for the group. Um, because that's what Noel sees in Raven. And as far as Rangers and just people, Noel has, since her vigilante days, admired Raven the most. So this was not just a disappointment to his grandma that he was making a disappointment to his team, but a disappointment to like Raven, who is like the most important person in Noel's life. And I just kind of didn't know I didn't know where to go with it, but I'm glad I didn't. I took Noel in a just kind of rolling with it in a more positive direction, especially when it came full circle and um, Yanni Yanni having given the Noel the information and Noel having been the one that made the wrong decision, when Yanni was the one that gave Noel the sword and allowed him to at least fix everything that had gone wrong in that moment, as far as getting lost in the other world. That like felt really good, and that really just kind of solidified that, yeah, I'm gonna finish this campaign out like 100, 1000%. And if there's another campaign that I'm invited to be in, I will be there 1000%.
Mine. Gosh, no. I don't know yet.
You, uh,
Well, listen, as a player at this table, as as a long time fan, first time caller, um, I definitely think I'm actually no, I was gonna say I think I'm super happy you decided to stay in it, because that's like I love this storyline with him, because it is one of the was one of the more prominent storylines from like the earlier episodes, that is one of them that just has been like getting deeper and deeper and more in the forefront. Like now, a lot of the storylines from like some of the other older episodes are becoming deeper now. Like, you know what I mean? Like they've already been deep, but they've been like kind of slowly putting those pieces in play, and like now the pieces are starting to move. And like as far as like Raven's story and Weston's story and stuff like that, like those are starting to like take shape now. And it seems and it seems like it's like kind of going into a consecutive motion in my brain, at least in my brain, like how Noel's storyline was slowly doing the same thing at the beginning, and now like you're seeing, not only seeing it at its climax, now you're seeing the aftermath and then the resolution of that, as well as like it helping to bring forth these other storylines. He's laying the foundation for these other storylines as well to like pick up and start as well. So I think I'm super happy that you decided to keep going. I didn't know that. I didn't know all of that. I know you told us some of that before, but yeah, that's super cool that you decided to keep going because as a player, that is very hard. Like when you feel like you fucked up, and you're like, damn, I kind of screwed the pooch on this one for real, like super bad. So like, I
Screwed the
get
pooch
that.
is right.
I know. I've been in games and campaigns where I've like had to feel the same decision. I think that's another reason why I fuck with the storyline so much too for him because I was in that storyline in a different game and I just like you I didn't quit the game but I became inactive in a sense for a while in that game because I didn't really know what to do. It was still like one of my first games I've been in part of, so I was like, damn, I really fucked up. Like, and the consequences were just as big. So I'm glad you didn't give up. Like, that is amazing that you decided to let the story play out because that's the best way to do it. Like, you can always have those chances of redemption if you just keep going. So it's cool you didn't write Noel out. Zay, we didn't
Yeah.
even.
You say
Oh,
something, Zay?
sorry.
Uh,
I didn't think he said
it,
anything.
yeah, and like I agree, and like I've definitely been there before. Like my very first campaign with D&D ever was a Sailor Moon one, but I I fucked up and destroyed a whole solar system,
Oh
and I
shit.
yeah. I remember that I used like a attack I wasn't supposed to, like I was a daughter of a scout, like daughter of Sailor Pluto, and used an attack that was way too powerful for me, destroyed the whole solar system, ended up killing my character, in that way, and I definitely quit even at I had gotten a new character, but even I had to quit, and so I definitely understand, and it's also like it's hard, especially going through those kind of moments. And like even with Raven, I felt like that. Like along like with the moment of like when the Raven was temporary lead, like um like when Weston was going by himself, I was just sitting there anxious, thinking like, I should not have just sent him there by myself, especially with the cycles being there, or trying to help know with that more. So I definitely understand, but also along with the fact that like those moments are just so real and so raw. Like I've definitely been through moments like that with in real life, and this also helped shape. It also helped shape a different way of me being Raven that I hadn't even thought of before. And so, like, I'm glad that you stayed and everything. And, like, you were really killing it more than you think. Especially, like, when you make those kind of mistakes as a player, it shows that you're more connected and more into the campaign than you think, and definitely want to make you hold on to it more.
Yeah,
True. Super true.
yeah, I definitely felt that.
And I think like just seeing I always bring it up, but it is phenomenal to me because I've been in a lot of different tables. But this is one of the one. This table is like in Roll Magic in general too, but like just watching the Omniverse because this is how I first found out about Roll Magic in general. But just seeing like everybody's skill just progressively after session just get better and better. Like everyone's character gets more in depth, more in depth, more in depth. Like even if it's something you know they're already struggling with, you getting this like it's so cool to see it in different light, like show up in different lights, like naturally too. It's not like, well, at least for me, it doesn't seem like you guys are purposely doing certain things. You are literally reacting as your characters. So like to just compliment what Didi said. Like, yeah, it definitely, as a player, it makes you feel more attached to the world whenever shit like that happens and you really feel it, or like it has a heavy weight to it to where you're like, all right, I'm gonna have to like account for this, like acting wise and stuff like that. So uh yeah, you guys have been like phenomenal. Like honestly, I still say this and I tell everybody this, Omniverse is still my top three Ranger teams. So I will stand by that whether I was here or not. But this is why though, like just the depth of how each of these characters get to shine, like, you know, and like you see so much of them, and you can see different aspects of, you know, not only just them, but just aspects of their worlds, you know, their city, their the space rate, the spaceships, the different planets. You get to see that through their eyes in different ways, and you guys do a very good job at conveying that through your characters.
Absolutely.
Sorry, that was very long-winded.
No, that was perfect. That was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That was a perfect submission.
Um, uh, Christian had another question. He popped up a while ago, but he's like, does anyone feel like Aubrey has grown any in the campaign as a DM? It is hard for him to tell the growth of his own character.
I think Aubrey has grown definitely. Like he went from being kind of a just like a general, like a tool, like a meathead, to to someone who's like really reliable and steadfast. Um, especially with the stuff that he's had to go through, being turned against his own mother.
Oh,
Um, I think he's definitely seen growth from that.
I definitely agree. I think he's grown a lot. Like this is almost there's almost a stark difference in Aubrey from like the episode whenever you guys are like everything like before prom and everything like that, like, you know, and him just being a goofy and just like he still has those goofy elements, and you still see that in his character, you still see him cracking those jokes, but he is completely different. Like he is very like detail oriented. He cares about like the more important. He's not that he didn't before, but he seems to be more focused. Like he has priorities have changed a lot. Like his priorities have been put more in the forefront. Even though again he's still him. Like his personality, he's always gonna be him. Every time he jokes, it's still the same Aubrey jokes. It's still the same hilarity and the timing and everything. But his maturity has like really upped, and you can tell that even like when he's just talking to like even like times when like everyone's bickering and he comes in there and like he's like, what are we even talking about, like, you know what I mean? Well, actually we should be more focused on this. Is like, whoa, where's Aubrey? Like what have, you know, like the thing with him and Noel, like how they were like wingmen for each other, and it kind of switched on them, you know, that dynamic is even switched a little bit. So because both of them maturing and going through different struggles internally, like that dynamic has changed, but you can still see those semblances. Same thing with like, so with Aubrey, I think he's definitely has grown as a ranger too. You know, he's been coming up with more tactical moves. He's been trying to be more diplomatic in a lot of scenarios. He's been taking the forefront on a lot of like stuff, like being more involved on the not necessarily all the way on the political side, but he has taken more interest in the well-being and as far as like that goes of the team, and that's pretty cool to see. That's like I think growth has been there for sure. It was also
I
really
think.
intimidating from. Sorry, I didn't even talk over
Uh,
you.
are you going to finish?
I was just saying it was also very intimidating when I'm creating Yanni because of that. You know what I mean? I didn't want to try to come in like going back to the other question why, like, you know, ideas I had for her and then why I changed them. Like I was like, I don't want to ruin that. Like I do want to come in with that antagonizing energy in a way, but I don't want to ruin that because he has grown a lot. I was like, where I wanted it to be, we set it up to be something like that, but I was like, I just don't want to like cut down everything Aubrey's like character work through. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be that fucking that to be that much. Sorry for him. So yeah, I think he's grown a lot for sure. Sorry, Didi.
You're good, and like I definitely understand it, cause like especially when coming into a campaign and wanting to make your own character, especially if they are related with somebody else, you don't want to push off and kind of like mess up their current progress.
Right.
And like with Aubrey, he has grown so much, especially like with at first, like everybody's personalities are so different, so vast. Like Aubrey's like with this basketball team, like the playboy kind of kind of clueless and everything. But then like he also I got to know the team. I don't think that honestly, without if it wasn't for being a ranger, Raven would not have really approached anybody other than Noah because that was all she knew. You know, different the clicks and everything. And Aubrey, one thing that stuck with me though was during everybody's low times, he he had grown with when they check on everybody and everything, like the compassion and everything, the friendship and everything. Like he was even pushing Harper away because he was worried about like the impact and everything, which is understandable. But like I don't think that season one Aubrey would have done that. So it shows all of the
Oh
amazing
yeah,
growth.
there you go. That's a really good thing to say too, because you have been on you were on season one as well, so your character has been around Aubrey the most. So that's really cool. Question. I mean, you're not in here, um, Christian, so I guess you could just type it out. But Didi, I'll ask you the same question. Kind of to backdoor that, if you don't mind, Zay. Um, what do you think? How do you think your character now, present Raven, would see? Like, how do you think they would interact? How do you think the interaction between her and season one Raven would be? No, I think that you too, because you were in season one too.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah. So same question. Like, how do you guys think that your character now? How do you think if you guys were in a room, it was a universe where you guys you for some reason you're in this room, and then that version of you, that season one version of you, obviously that character's probably younger, too, slightly younger. So how do you think they would not only see you, but how you think that interaction would go? Like, what do you think they would think of each other? Like, what do you think that season one version would think of you now? If that makes sense. I don't know if I'm like asking
Oh,
three
it makes
questions in one,
perfect.
but
It
Oh
makes
no,
perfect
it makes
sense.
perfect sense. Like I can say without a doubt, if Noel could see himself now, um, he probably would have made a lot of attempts to give his morpher back. Just knowing what came, because if he knew that would happen, and if he really wanted to help people, he would have. I think he would have let the morphing grid find somebody else, somebody who could have
oh,
done all those things and not blown off Australia and killed two rangers.
I think with Raven, like, wouldn't even be able to believe that that's who she's seeing, like the future, her future version of herself. Like, she would never think that she would have came that far, because Raven's not the most confident person, especially in her abilities. That's why that she was the one that kind of like least used her powers the least because he didn't have the confidence or anything about having to be forced to be pushed. So it would be like weary, but also admiration at the same time, and actually want to encourage to get to that point.
so you think it would push her more?
Yeah, for sure.
So you think so that very she thinks she would come out to be like a lot more confident and a lot more like have a lot more, well, yeah, a lot more confident, a lot more charisma in herself if she met her future self earlier.
Yes, because like the current Raven in my head is more like her dad. Because like with the fanfiction, it's like her dad was doing it, grew up with doing vigilante things. Her mother got married into it, so pretty much following the path of her father more than anything. Currently, and that's something that Raven had always strived to do. So it would definitely give her the ambition and wanting the goal of getting to that point.
Oh yeah, that's dope. That's so dope. Christian says Aubrey probably couldn't handle seeing himself now. I think honestly it would hurt Aubrey's growth to see him now. Aubrey is a crash out artist. He used to hate seeing good things like that. Fair. Oh man, that is intense too. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that's heavy. What about you, Zay? How do you think
I wasn't
early?
here season one.
Well, yeah, but you had an earlier version of yourself. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
early version of me would have definitely fought this version of me.
really?
Yeah,
Why do you think they would have clashed so hard too?
they're two different people.
Okay.
I think early version of me would have been pissed off that this version of Weston was starting to become still not open, but you can definitely see cracks in how open this Weston is. He would have hated that.
Damn, that's crazy. Y'all, so you and Aubrey both would have just been like, "Look, heads up, let's go." On site, squabble up. That's crazy. I did have a question for you too, though, Zay. Um, how do you really feel Weston is dealing with the situation with his parents? Because it hasn't come back up yet, but and I know and Yanni obviously can't ask him about it as much as I, Tokyo, want to know. So I'm gonna ask you,
Oh,
how do you
Weston is
really
still
feel about
spiraling.
this situation? What's going on with it? Like,
He's still spiraling,
yeah. Why do you think he's
but
able to
he just
hold
has
it
to.
together so well right
That's
now?
just a Crusader thing. Just tucking your feelings to the side.
Okay,
Mm.
shut it off.
Hmm.
Dude, what do you think how do you think he's gonna react when he finds out whatever happened to his parents? Like whatever, I don't know what happened to them, but when he finds
Uh,
they come back into the picture and he finds out, do you think he'll be able to accept whatever they tell him is and forgive them, or do you think he would just shrug it off, or do you think he would just been like, fuck it?
it depends on what where they were, what they were doing, stuff like that. I don't think it's gonna be like just an instant. I accept that, but if it's something as simple as oh we got kidnapped or something, there could be like a sense of like okay you weren't doing nothing crazy. But if it's something like oh we blew up, we're criminals in real life, then it's like then at that point all deals are off. I'm not your son no more type deal.
Oh, okay.
You
So they're
see, Noel had valid anxieties. People would just abandon him because he's a criminal.
hey, I never said they weren't real. So you think do you think they left because they found out their son was a Power Ranger and they couldn't be attached to that? Or
I
do you think they
honestly don't know.
okay. That's wild. I was thinking I felt that was one of the moments that really like got to me, dude. For real, like just like Weston waking up and like I can literally feel that cold and darkness from that scene. Oh man, that was man. It was even if you weren't even because I mean I think that same episode when we did the end parts, you were saying like, oh, I don't think I didn't really do anything today. I was being too quiet today. Like, I was. None of us were like, what are you talking
Yeah, no,
about?
I
Like,
mean that
and he
silence
did
was
great.
that's if that's the case, that silence was loud.
Yeah, like
It
it
spoke
was
volumes.
so great. Like, you know, so I think I am very invested in that storyline for sure. That's why I was saying like it's setting like Noel's storyline is leading us through and setting up while the other ones are literally setting up around us. And this is one of the ones I want to see literally come to like I want to see this one flesh out. I want to see what happens to Kay and his family and stuff like that. Because I'm just as much a fan anyway. So I'm still like always like damn man. I rewatch these at work so. they, if they had, no, I'm pretty sure my coworkers have watched all these inadvertently. Uh, that's so dope. That's so dope. I'm excited, and I'm excited to see if Dee Dee fights her sister. I think we had another one on here. Oh, a common question that apparently seems to get asked all the time, and I'm so confused by it. But am gonna ask you guys. The question is, what is each of the Rangers' powers and Zords? And the only reason I
I gotta
say
answer this.
that that's the thing. That's what I was gonna say. So I was gonna say that it's so it's so wild that that's like one of the most asked questions too, because I feel like everyone says it every episode.
I
I feel like it
literally
gets
answered
said
this
every.
in a YouTube comment the other day.
Yeah. I mean, I
But I
feel
guess
like
we got also
it
new
may be
players.
like generally just like our like abilities and stuff because they know what our elements are, but we do some pretty crazy stuff with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there's probably some people who are just coming in too. That might be the case.
I don't
Right.
think we
So
had
Yeah.
like set ability moves, huh?
I
We
mean,
didn't have
we've
really.
used okay. So for example, you use your shadow powers, but let's say
Mhm.
for example in the loser ranger crossover in my sessions, you used your shadow powers to dive into the shadow and step behind someone's shadow. So you
Oh, all
used it
right.
as stealth. You used your shadow in that same episode to create an amorphous surface for no for Yanni and Raven to fall safely into as well. So so like think about it. No has lightning powers, but he's used it with appliances. He's used it to create electric copies of Bun Bun. He's used it to augment his own muscles, his own thought to think faster. Um, yeah. So like, I is that a good example
Yes,
of
that is
Yeah.
a
what?
great
Yeah,
example.
yeah,
Not Chloe is a criminal too. See, that's why we. That's why the Shadows of Olympus needs to happen, so Chloe can go crazy. Uh, uh yeah. Well, and your Zord, obviously the elegant black dragon.
Oh yes, absolutely. The Black Dragon. Oh, I hadn't really started explaining yet, but yeah, the Black Dragon Tiberius. Um, he has the powers of lightning. He has powers that can deal specifically heavy lightning damage to enemies. Like basic swipe attacks as well. I can add elements to it as also. But what I think is Tiberius's best attack is his EMP. One, because you can't go wrong with it, and it also sets up for a team member to really get a good and decisive attack in. I think once Knowles stopped using the EMP, he used the EMP less, then things started to go wrong. And enemies started losing their disadvantages. But I think Tiberius's ability to debuff the enemy is one of his greatest assets as a Zord. Um, and just to kind of give a general rundown with Noel's lightning powers, he can use it in lots of different ways, augment his muscles for different speed. He's used it to create electric copies of Bun Bun and other things, electric clones of himself. Um, he's used it to increase his thought speed. He's used it to just, generally produce like destructive blasts, more powerful punches. He's channeled it through different items, weapons, and even enemies to kind of create chain attacks as well. Um, I kind of agree with what Xylus said in an episode a while ago. Noel is probably the strongest ranger on the team in terms of raw power, but he does not always think out his actions. And I think that may come as a result of me being a little over creative with the things I'm going to do instead of just considering what is in front of Noel. I think Noel lacks in using his environment to his advantage unless it comes to stealth. Offensively, Noel lacks in using his environment to his advantage. So yep, those are powers, Zord, and weaknesses. I'm gonna pass the ball to the character Noel actually has feelings for.
Talia? Well, I'm just kidding.
Natalia,
You're
she
not
pops in the
Talia.
chat.
Not
Actually, it's me.
Talia.
Damn.
Hi, it's me, Talia.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Talia.
He missed it earlier, I think. No, wait,
Yeah, I don't know
no,
if he.
no.
No, he was
Actually, no,
here.
he was in the chat. He was in.
He was
Yeah.
chat. I'm so sorry about that. Excuse me.
You get up and sneezing and muting up the whole time. Um, I'll go next. Raven's power is the power of air, and he has the Green Hydra named Sora. And I think that Raven's just gotta use her powers more often, but she uses it along with crowd control, like with helping civilians with flying, like getting them safety and like with getting rubble and everything. And the attack that I like the best is like the Hydro clones, because that definitely helped us get out of a lot of situations, even though like sometimes kind of it helps us for a while, along with being able to do like stuff like power diversions.
I think Win is like a very diverse power too. Like a very not very
Yeah.
diverse, versatile. Sorry.
Yeah, very diverse.
Oh, I said- yeah, definitely. You can do some destructive shit with Win. If you want any, look at Storm. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's how I think about it anytime. And like, all right, even Aang. You can think about it in the form of Aang too.
Look, look,
Which
y'all gonna be real upset that one day Raven gets pissed off and she just starts suffocating people.
listen,
Y'all gonna
right?
be y'all
'Cause
gonna be scared then. Yeah, y'all thought y'all was
I mean,
scared of
she's
Noel
threatened to do that
now.
to Aubrey.
Y'all
when
She
thought
she
threatened to
when
do that
she,
to Aubrey a couple times.
y'all thought edgy Noel was scary. Nah, wait till you see through with this shit
she
Raven.
bring the yeah when she sucked the air out her lungs.
Just suck the air out you. You know what? Let me actually reference a scene from an anime
Okay.
that I'm watching. It's called Summertime Rendering. There is a
Mm.
being that has the power to literally copy anything and take it away. So when they were losing a fight in a warehouse, they copied all the air out of the warehouse and created a vacuum and caused air from the outside to rush in, shatter the glass, and stun everybody. It was such a smart thing to do. But when I tell y'all, if Ravens start moving like that, y'all gonna be scared.
But yeah, you should be scared.
That's why I try to keep Raven calm, because I know that if she get pissed off, that wind power will go all the way off.
I guess I'll go. My Yanni's is the ice power of ice. She has a silver falcon sword. Sorry. I was trying not to actually get the air sucked out of my lungs right now. So, but yeah, so she has ice
Careful.
power. So I think I know. I was like, what did I do? I look at Yanni's power. My approach to her power is as far as like using it. I I pretty much channel in my brain. I think of stuff that Sub Zero would do, like cryomancy things, or Iceman from the X-Men. So things that's how my brain formulates. What could she do with this? Like at her level now, obviously she hasn't really. She's still learning this. So, but I look at her like her move set being something similar to that, where she's manipulating the ice in various ways, or like the snow in various ways. Just the moisture in the air and freezing it. Sounds like I'm thinking of other ways, like how she uses it like that. As far as like what her abilities are, um, so far she hasn't done too much with it. She has created snow. She has made it. She has slid on it. She has made the already done like the ice slide, like ozone, Frozone. Sorry. She's done the ice slide and glide like that already. So she's starting to get the hang of it, especially in that Loser Ranger episodes. Like she was definitely like trying to be more creative in those episodes. Uh, so that's kind of like her trying to start as far as like her starting to lean more into her powers. But I am thinking of some a lot of cool things. I just don't know how I want to execute it right now. Like moves and things with other people.
Yanni's just gonna start giving people pneumonia.
She's gonna do the the shoulder hay but it's gonna be a lot worse. She's like, hey, and then now you got frostbite on your arm. Like she's slowly
Mm,
freezing your arm.
Mm.
She's like, so we just
mm.
wanted a little bit of information.
The way the way Raven froze Cinder at the end of their fight, just start flash
Yeah.
freezing people.
Oh yeah. Raven's gonna suck the air out of people, and Yanni's just gonna freeze the moisture in their bodies. That's the evil versions. That's the fuck around and find out version. All right, cool, great. All right,
Noel's gonna
let's
use
freeze.
electricity to turn their brain off, turn people into a
That would
vegetable.
be a terrible thing to fight. Honestly, like we did that when we did that combo move. I would hate to fight someone that did that. Like I would be so mad if someone was using that on me in a video game or otherwise. I'd be so mad. I was like, oh, so they're just gonna do this. This is a sick ass move. I would be mad because it would be so cool, but it's happening to me, and I don't want it to happen to me.
Look,
What about you, Zay? You gonna pop off?
What do I say? Uh, okay. Weston's power is shadow ability, right? His Zord is
Shadow.
the Cerberus, named Nyx, who is probably just as mysterious as Weston. So there's a lot of stuff about the Cerberus Zord that Weston still doesn't know about.
Mm.
okay,
Especially
mysteries.
the central ones still being, I guess that's still the main planet we're trying to get to,
Yeah.
or at least one of the planets we have to get to.
Yeah, I think that's where we're supposed to be heading right now. We're trying to
I'm
get.
real. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
What is one of your favorite things? Like some of your favorite things you've done with your shadow ability?
I don't really have a favorite thing yet.
Well, not like
I guess
favorite thing, like what's
outside
the
of
cool
like,
moment that you like?
I don't have a cool moment. I haven't really done nothing special outside of like maybe like a couple mind things here and there. There really
But
hasn't been
that
really
counts.
anything.
The
But
manipulating someone's mind.
that hasn't been cool to me though. That's just like it's cool. It's a cool power, but it's not like flashy like everybody else's. So
You must never heard of Shikamaru because
That part.
I mean,
we
I mean,
talking flashy
I
shadow
chose
power.
Shadow because of Shigamaru. It's just still I still haven't had that OMG moment yet though.
Well, it's not an OMG moment. I haven't done anything OMG either.
Well, because you're
Same.
new.
Yeah, but still, it doesn't
I
like I
really
haven't
haven't
done. I've
had
barely done
I
anything.
haven't had a moment really still. So
I
there
enjoy.
really is nothing to
I
say.
like the Frozone stairs. I thought that was cool when during the chase scene too. When you get into the arena, I thought that was pretty cool. The dual ice blades is a nice touch. Um, also, I'm
Yeah,
wondering
we
when we're actually gonna find out when she's gonna reveal to us what her Zord is, because I had to respectfully keep that a lore secret in my sessions too.
Oh yeah, cause well no, I thought yeah she didn't she used her Zord didn't she in front of it no
I think so.
yeah she's used the Falcon Zord before.
Oh, okay, I remember now. Yes, I
Yeah,
recall.
she's used the Falcon Zord before. I think I thought you were keeping it at like because she isn't revealed to everybody that she's a Silver Ranger, so that's why I thought you were keeping it out. But
Yeah.
because I was like, thank you, because she would have been like, hey, I don't know them, please don't say this. They don't know who I am. They know I'm a ranger, but yeah, no, I'm so I was telling Christian that I'm so excited. I'm gonna be so like geeking out whenever because we still haven't made the Megazord yet, so I'm super excited for that part. Like to see the new version of the Megazord
Mm,
for the first time,
absolutely.
the new configuration of it. Because I think it's a new ship. Everything's like the Zord's gonna be have changed a bit, so I'm excited to see it. That first Zord fight's gonna be crazy because for you, it's gonna be like a first for everybody in a sense because it'll be Yanni's first time Megazord doing a Megazord, and it'll be for you guys' first time in a while. Like you guys haven't been able to use a Megazord in a long time.
Okay.
That new Megazord smell. Yeah,
That new Megazord smell.
oh, it's got a nice
Uh,
stereo.
okay. I think the only question we haven't got to today is where is your character's favorite vacation spot? And is there anyone they would bring with them? Hmm.
Well, I don't think it takes a lot to say, but I think Yanni's would be a spot by the beach, probably like in a area that's like closer to something that's covered or like where a lot of trees and stuff are. Just and I don't think if it's not Aubrey, she would probably bring her niece because her niece is a big deal to her. Her niece is like the only physical piece of her brother still, so she tries to spend a lot more time with her niece as much as she can. So I think she would bring her niece and like show her like a lot of like places she would go as a kid and stuff when she was in Vanity City. Yeah, Yanni's a beach baby.
A beach, baby. Let me see. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't think Weston has a place.
I think I think
Um.
Noah would want to go to Venice. Um,
Venice is nice.
mhm.
Mm.
He would definitely, if he went to Venice, he would want the team to come with him. But if he had to pick just one person to come to Venice with him, he would. It would definitely be Aubrey. We definitely have to run it back. We would definitely have
Hell
to
yeah.
run London back and do it right this time. No evil distractions. But in Venice,
Hell
get blacked in Venice.
yeah. The Venice filler episode.
The Venice filler episode, the Venice one shot.
Yeah. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
Black
That's
and
about
yellow,
the
black and
man.
yellow, black and yellow, black
Yes.
and yellow. Um, what about you, Raven? Raven?
Raven.
I had my mic on mute this whole time. I was talking.
Okay, okay.
Um, dream vacation anywhere? Um, you said Venice, no?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
um I think Japan at least, cause like I know Raven would know like at least know some of the language and stuff, but like she would probably take like um take Yanni because like that's like to hang out. There's like with the fashion and other stuff like that. Like to hang out and get the bond and everything more.
Oh, that'd be cute. That'd be the exact opposite of
Yeah,
of
that would
the
be so
of
cool.
the. That'd be so fun. I think that'd be great. The Harajuku fashion and everything.
Oh my God! Just go in there, run into the cast of The World Ends with You, have a shopping spree at Gato Nero, and
Oh, that would be amazing. And when we would, and it would just you would only know about it because they would be putting pictures on social media. Other than that, they wouldn't have
Hmm.
told anybody. They would have just left.
The ultimate girls trip and like invite Ember.
Yes, go to Canada, get Amber. uh, what about Sorry, you said you didn't have one.
I
Vic?
don't. What's this now?
Weston doesn't have one.
Nah.
okay.
Ember says if you could trade powers with anyone else on the Omni Rangers team, who would you trade with?
I wouldn't say powers with the Omni Ranger specifically, but I was trading my shadows in for water power.
Okay.
I would definitely trade my lightning in for shadows or darkness.
I would trade mine for like telepathy.
Ooh, telepathy. That is a pretty sick power. Everyone's power is so fire. I think if I were to trade, I probably would pick I would definitely either pick lightning or earth just because of me being an earth sign and I do enjoy being outside. I do love being in like the earth itself. So I would probably pick that one, but like most of my favorite characters and like my favorite like elemental ability is lightning. So I would probably pick one of those for sure. Lightning, I would pick lightning because I would definitely be biased because that's again it's my favorite one. So I definitely would have been biased towards that one.
Okay.
Hence why Q is also lightning too. Because I was like, oh yeah, it's my favorite one. So but yeah, that's another reason why I made him lightning.
Let's see.
I have a question, but this is for Ember. What would it take for you to come on and do a session with us?
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
What would it
Actually, play that one.
We need. When are the Omni
need
Rangers gonna
one.
meet their number one fan?
Like literally?
yes.
The one that's getting all the random Spider-Man quality photos of us.
I know. I want to go to the universe where she actually is an Omni Ranger.
Yo,
Yes. Oh my God.
We go to a universe where she became an Omni Ranger because of us. I like she's in an Omni Ranger team after us in like a different timeline, and we're like, oh, hey, isn't this the girl who always takes those pictures?
look. All you gotta do is, if it's okay with Raven, all you gotta do is show up at the academy.
Yes.
That's all you gotta do, Ember. Is show up
You
at the
give me an
academy.
idea.
That would be fun. I would love that. I would love to see how our number one fan developed as an actual ranger. That would be amazing.
We crash her birthday party or something.
By that time, she'd probably be an instructor, which would be crazy because imagine us just walking in on Ember's class she's teaching, and she just starts
History.
fangirling out, and everyone's seeing their professor like, why is Professor Ember acting like this? Like, oh, those are the Omni Rangers.
I feel like she has all she has all the historic historical like events organized into like they use her the stuff that she's done as a part of the curriculum.
Absolutely. You have to, if you're not at least this hype at minimum, please don't show your support for us. If that's not how you come, please don't come at all. Uh, oh,
Wow, you didn't even watch the last episode? That's crazy.
he said he's been a little sick.
No, I'm just messing with him.
Let's see. Oh, another question on here that we didn't get to quite yet was if you had a different Zord, what would it be? Okay. If I had a different Zord, ooh, if I had a different Zord and different powers, it would definitely be the Shadow Owl. I'd have an owl.
An owl?
An owl.
That's sick. I don't think we've seen an owl. I think if I were to pick, I would probably either pick a wolf or a panther.
Ooh, an ice wolf would go nuts.
Yeah.
Silver
I
Panther would
think
go crazy too. Sorry.
I think for me, it would definitely be like a fox, but like with the power of instead of darkness, but light or energy.
Oh shit, yeah, that'd be fire. I can see that. Oh hell yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to think. Oh, a Pegasus.
Pegasus would be sick. Yeah,
Cool.
Pegasus would be great.
Very cool.
With it being orange too, it would look very Olympian.
No. If I was Pegasus, I'd be a different color.
Oh, I thought we were just picking from the ones we already are.
I'd be a completely different color.
What color?
Probably white. I would have been white. Crazy enough, orange was not my first color. I chose gray at first.
You chose gray.
Yep.
Is it because you're very neutral, very stoic?
No, I just always told myself if I was a ranger, I would be a gray ranger.
Weston the Gray.
I forgot how I don't know how I was convinced to pick orange, but
Didn't you say Dee Dee did it?
nah, Didi convinced me to keep orange. But I don't know how I was convinced to become orange in the first place. Forgot.
it's
Not
a
only
good
she-
ranger color.
Mm-hmm.
It's unique. I like it. I like like the same way I like purple because I've never seen a purple ranger before. And then all the other variations of colors we got, like yellow crystal prime, like what? Crimson red, what?
Yeah, it's very, very sick. Like I love the different, whenever the different kind of rangers like come into the play. Like I feel like it makes it feel a little bit more true to Sentai too. At the same time, how they had a lot of variation in their teams.
Anonymous Coyote. Now I just keep seeing that pop up in the doc with the questions. Man, okay, I don't see any more questions on the document. Does anyone? Are there any more questions from chat? Any just like comments, concerns, anything y'all want to bring up?
No, not really. Ooh, do y'all want a hint about what my session is themed about?
Give us the most cryptic of hints.
Cryptic of hints. Let's see.
Or just say it.
Nah, I can't say it. I'll
Fill
give
the
you
whole- every detail.
I'll give you. This may give it away though. Shoot.
Give us the after credit scene version.
No. I'll say this. This may be too much of a hint, but it's all I can think of. Blood on clean hands.
Ooh.
Oh.
I like this. I like this.
Blood on clean hands. That should be the title of your episode, low key.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, one quick question.
Yeah, go
What do
ahead.
you guys think is what color do you guys think is the rarest M&M color and Ranger color?
The rarest M&M color and the rarest M&M. That.
Yeah, that part, that one.
The rarest M&M color and the rarest Ranger color.
Blue's the rarest
Uh,
M&M color.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like basic
I
blue?
think-
For real? You know,
I rarely see blue.
I feel like I've never seen a purple M&M. I think I've seen a purple Skittle.
Yeah, it's purple Skittles. The M&M doesn't
That's
have
true.
purple.
And
Yeah,
the rare-
We have a purple Ranger. Are there? So I definitely feel like I've seen an orange Skittle and an orange
There,
M&M too.
okay, so because he didn't explain it to me, there was an orange ranger in SPD, but he wasn't real. And he
oh,
was
Yeah, I
like a
think it
dream,
was like
and
an
he was
illusion.
only there for like an episode, so
He wasn't
he doesn't
real?
count as a ranger. And
Interesting.
then of course,
No, he was
Cosmic
there
Theory
tech.
was so bad. No, he does not count as a ranger. He was just some dude.
No,
they
he
knew
doesn't. It was
who
a tech.
a tech. He said, "Oh, it was a tech."
Yeah,
And,
he was a technician in the comics.
oh. And then the Cosmic Theory was so bad that people just don't talk about that one at all. So
I don't know. I can't
easily
say
say orange is the orange. Orange is easily the
Well,
rarest color.
I'm gonna say you guys were right around there with some of your answers. They were definitely choices, but it's actually brown.
Brown is the rarest M&M color.
Brown?
And Power Ranger color at the same time.
When have you seen a brown Power Ranger?
I've never seen a brown. I've never seen a doodle brown
That's
Ranger.
true. That's true.
I've never seen a doodle brown Ranger.
Well, I didn't say doo brown, but yeah.
And that's why there isn't one. Like, who wants to like
Isn't-
imagine
wasn't
kids?
because brown isn't a pleasant color.
What?
I think I saw something like that. There was like the reason why there's no brown rangers is because brown isn't a pleasant color to look at.
Yeah, that's what he was just saying. Like, why would you want to be a brown Ranger? Because you're gonna get roasted.
Exactly. Like you gonna come out in the brown suit with everybody else coming out in their clean different color suit. You gonna come out
I want to
in
make a fire
you gonna-
brown Ranger now.
You gonna come out the plumbing Ranger,
Not the plumbing Ranger, so
like
backwoods Ranger.
the backwoods Ranger, the cigarello Ranger. The Cigar
Oh my
Ranger.
Oh my god. Not the wood tip ranger. Dang.
Oh my god, bro. Like, I'm not even
That's
trying to know what kind of powers the Brown Ranger has.
Hey man. I'm not gonna ask him.
I'm not asking either.
Maybe Amber's right.
Uh,
Maybe it's the teddy bear ranger.
Maybe it's the Teddy Bear Ranger.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Okay, so I mean that's great and all, but that still brings us back to what kind of powers do they have?
Cuteness, bows, hugs, the ultimate weapons, obviously.
Now manipulation.
Take over the world with cuteness.
The Brown Ranger, killing them with kindness. I would like that. I would watch a season with the Brown Ranger, the teddy bear ranger, the brown teddy ranger, brown bear ranger. Look.
As long as it's got fur on them, I would be okay. As long as it got some
Yeah.
spots with fur
Look,
on there, I
what
think
do
I'll
they
be
say?
okay with it.
What do they say about bears? If it's black, attack. If it's brown, lay down.
Yeah.
No, it can't be attack. It has to be get back. Why would you attack a bear?
Because black bears are smaller. Black bears are a lot smaller than brown bears and grizzly bears.
True.
Like they're tinier.
Brown, lay down.
And they're the ones you're gonna see mostly. Like when you see people like have bears in their neighborhood a lot of times, like they're usually like black bears.
Nah, I don't think I'm a fan of that. If I just walked out my door one day and there's just a bear out there, y'all will never
Yeah, I don't
see
give a
me.
fuck what kind of
Y'all
bear
will
it is.
never
I'm not
see
gonna
me outside
interact with a
again.
bear in general.
Y'all will never see me outside again.
Listen, they come in your house sometimes. I've seen so many people that come in people's houses. First off, why is your door unlocked for the bear to open it? But two, makes no sense. But yeah, they be going in people's houses, going in their fridge, and these people like caught a bear in our house. Psh, so silly. Like, no. Keep the house. I gotta move. I'm not gonna. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna go.
Said, help the bear. That bitch don't need it.
Yeah, don't help me. Help the bear.
Okay. Any final questions, comments, concerns? I think this has been a pretty good episode of Ranger Cast. Unless y'all wanted it to go for a little bit longer, I didn't think it had to be as long as session itself.
Nah, I think
But
it's perfect.
Yeah.
okay. Well, we appreciate y'all for coming to the premiere episode of Ranger Cast. We call our YRN session. This is our first session. So these will generally be on Saturdays where we don't have session, but we still have myself, Yanni, and Raven available to come and talk about some different things. There were some topics I wanted to hit on today, but I think as we kind of start brainstorming, we can start like spreading topics out to have more things to talk about at a later time. Next week, maybe we'll talk about some things like top 5 session moments, top 5 Rangers based on different things, and many more. I won't give away too much. But again, we appreciate y'all hanging around today. This is on Teku Coffee, aka No Gleckner, the Black Omni Ranger. Just saying thank you, and we appreciate you. Did you guys want to say anything before we sign off?
Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with us. I'm excited we got to do this. We usually do this anyway, but so it's super cool that we got to do it on stream today. So thank you guys for coming to hang out, asking those questions. I'm so excited to do more. I'm Sound in Tokyo everywhere on Twitch and other social medias, and let's get this thing going. Yeah, Yanni out. I don't know what to say. I suck at outros, by the way. I really suck at these. Like, please start talking.
You did fine. Like, I had so much fun, especially with learning more about everybody's characters and everything. And can't wait for the next one. I'm Didi Hime on all social media, and I play Raven. And oh god, I suck at this too.
Pass it today. Pass it today.
Say something.
I'll be here. That's it.
He be here. You can't ask for much more than that.
Hey, listen, that's all I asked anyway.
Hey,
So
look.
that-
Hey, look. So someone that'll show up for you. If anything else, you gotta appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yes, we appreciate y'all so much. Thank you, Roll Magic, for allowing us to do this on your platform as well. We're gonna go ahead and sign off, but before we do, let's see that intro video one more time.